Lu Wu looked satisfiedly at the flying magic artifact in his hands. Seeing Yi Mo come over, he quickly waved his hand to Yi Mo and gave it to him. What do you think? Black cloud pike, made just as you wanted. An extreme grade cultivation artifact. If it wasn't that the level 9 materials were a little lacking, I might have made into a half-immortal artifact. Lu Wu looked satisfiedly at the flying magic artifact in his hands. Seeing Yi Mo come over, he quickly waved his hand to Yi Mo and gave it to him. What do you think? Black cloud pike, made just as you wanted. An extreme grade cultivation artifact. If it wasn't that the level 9 materials were a little lacking, I might have made into a half-immortal artifact. Although he said it was a pity, Lu Wu was clearly very happy with his creation. It's actually an extreme grade cultivation artifact. Yi Mo picked up the pale blue-black cloud pike joyfully. The dark cloud pike felt like a feather. He loved the appearance. He thought it would be very good if a half-extreme grade cultivation artifact was made, but Lu Wu forged an extreme grade cultivation artifact. The reason Yi Mo chose dark cloud pike was because it was good at stealth. It was usually very hard to find. Yi Mo felt the dark cloud pike and loved it the more he looked at it. Lu Wu was indeed a forgery grandmaster. After you spirit control it, the inside area is nearly 6 meters. You can put the decorations inside yourself. In order to increase speed and defensive capabilities, I've shrunk the area. There's a stealth formation inside, Lu Wu said pridefully. Clearly he had seen Yi Mo's astonished face. Yi Mo immediately got up and bowed to Lu Wu. Brother Lu, I'm really grateful to you this time. I owe you this time. I wanted to ask you to come to Mo Yu City with me and then return the favor you owed me, but now I'm embarrassed to ask that. Ha ha. Lu Wu laughed. Very well, I like you owing me. At the end of the month I will go to Mo Yu City as well. Then Lu Wu said again, I quite like you. I was planning to bear the pain of giving you a half-extreme grade attack cultivation artifact, but your kitchen knife is better than all of mine, so I thought never mind. How could Yi Mo not know that Lu Wu wanted to see his Zishu? He took it out and gave it to Lu Wu. Brother Lu, what do you think of it? Good means, it's really good forgery method. Lu Wu felt Zishu and exclaimed, this is definitely an ancient treasure. He looked at Yi Mo and said, you've spirit-controlled this kitchen knife, so you should probably know that it's only a sword fetus, right? Before Yi Mo could nod, he said again, you should know that this fetus can add materials in to upgrade the magic artifact. The first time you add materials, it will keep the same appearance forever. Yi Mo nodded. Lu Wu said seriously, you must not casually add in materials to upgrade it. If the level of the materials isn't high enough, it will greatly weaken your sword. Second, your forgery skills aren't good enough, and that will also affect this treasure. Yi Mo knew this, of course, or else he would have long since upgraded Zishu already. He wasn't going to use level 5 or level 6 materials to upgrade Zishu. Seeing this, Lu Wu gave Zishu back to Yi Mo. When you have enough materials, come find me and I'll help you. Yi Mo smiled and put Zishu away. He had already started forgery himself. When he found enough materials, he wouldn't need to ask Lu Wu for help. He knew that Lu Wu must have a lot of top-grade materials. When his forgery skills were high enough, he might be able to find materials from him. After leaving Lu Wu, Yi Mo's spirit controlled the dark cloud pike at his place. He found that there were about 30 square meters of area and 2 rooms. Yi Mo was very happy with this area. This was enough for him. There were spirit stones sinks at the front and back of the dark cloud pike. It could not only run on spirit stones but also on spirit kai. Yi Mo looked at the tens of formations and knew that Lu Wu was also a formation grandmaster. He couldn't help admire him. But Yi Mo also knew that most forgery masters were also formation masters. I'll call you Blue Moon from now on, Yi Mo said. Wang Chuanhe, who had returned to Lightning Cloud Sect, had a man facing him who was waiting for his reply. It was Yang Feiqing. He came to Lightning Cloud Sect for cooperation. The reason Wang Chuanhe didn't reply was that the sect was heavily divided on what to do with Yi Mo. Some elders believed that they must kill Yi Mo no matter what to preserve the authority of the Lightning Cloud Sect. The other elders believed that Yi Mo had established his grounds and it would cause the sect trouble if they killed him. Young Feiqing wanted to attack Yi Mo while he went from Pill City to Mo Yu City. But Wang Chuanhe was planning to give up after knowing Yi Mo invited so many masters. After all, the Infinity Sect had the greatest conflict with Yi Mo. Lightning Cloud Sect only lost Tian Aofeng. Brother Yang, Yi Mo has built his foundation and he invited many helpers this time. There's no way for us to kill him on his path. Instead, we would overtly offend the Pill City. Wang Chuanhe sighed, I want to kill this guy immediately like Brother Yang, but the situation is such that we can't. Yang Feiqing said calmly, Brother Wang, I'm sure that if we don't kill Yi Mo this time, after he goes into Mo Yu City we'll never have an opportunity to kill him. Do we dare to attack Mo Yu City? With Ji Ling's relationship to Yi Mo, he would set up the top-grade defense formation for Mo Yu City. Perhaps before we even attack Mo Yu City, Pill City would find an excuse to attack our sect. He paused and got up. Out of the people going with Yi Mo to Mo Yu City, there's only one truth realization state from the Pill City besides Lu Wu. There would be at most 3 or 4 from other sects. We don't have to consider those below truth realization state. As long as we stop those few truth realization state cultivators, we can instantly kill Yi Mo. Wang Chuanhe looked at Yang Feiqing in confusion. How do you know there's only one truth realization state cultivator from the Pill City? Yang Feiqing smiled. Half a month ago, Yu Qichao and Shen Guanqing left Pill City to an unknown place. Without Yu Qichao's help, do you think this Yi Mo would have a truth realization state to send him off? Having one was already unexpected. My sect has 5 truth realization state cultivators while yours has 4. We have 9 truth realization state cultivators in total, if we add more than 10 disaster transformation state cultivators. Yang Feiqing stopped and looked at Wang Chuanhe. Wang Chuanhe asked in shock, Brother Yang, you're saying to send out all of our truth realization state cultivators and more than 10 disaster transformation state cultivators just to kill Yi Mo? Yang Feiqing nodded. That's right, we stop those few truth realization state cultivators and as long as we have one spare truth realization state, we can instantly kill Yi Mo. If Yi Mo is dead, even if the Pill City knows we killed Yi Mo, what can they do to us when the impending disaster of South Peace State is coming? Even if the disaster isn't to come, do you think the Pill City would annihilate 2 9-star sects for a dead Pill King? Yang Feiqing sneered. The Pill City isn't that powerful and they won't do that. We annihilated the Sword Valley, do you see the Pill City doing anything? It really is so, Wang Chuanhe murmured. After a beat, he nodded firmly. Okay, just this time, if we still aren't able to kill Yi Mo, we won't be involved anymore. Yang Feiqing nodded. Of course it's just this time. If it doesn't work, we won't do things so casually as well. But he sneered in his head. If I'm going to let your sect completely break free from this, I would be too dumb. Meanwhile, in Pill City, Yi Mo, Luo Ying, Qingxue and Beiwei sat together. There was no disagreement about going back to the Mo Yu City. The Pill City was safe, but this wasn't their place. Even for cultivation, Yi Mo didn't dare to go into Golden Page World. He was renowned as City Lord but his power was limited, it wasn't much more than an elder. Brother, we have 3 truth realization state cultivators including Lu Qianbei, and 6 disaster transformation state Qianbeis as well as 9 cauldron filling state Qianbeis. With this many masters, what power can stop us? Tang Beiwei asked. Yi Mo shook his head. Yang Feiqing would risk everything for sure to give me a heavy blow this time. If City Lord Yu was still here I could ask him for help, but he's going out for at least a year or 2. I can't wait that long. Although we have 3 truth realization states, that's far from enough. Infinity Sect has 5 and Lightning Cloud Sect has 4, if they all come, they can instantly kill us. Do they have the guts to do that? Ning Qingxue knew Yi Mo's status in the Pill City and asked in disbelief. Yi Mo shook his head. I don't know, but I have to be careful. What if they really dare to do that? Pill City won't protect you guys for a dead Pill King. And I think it's 90% likely that they will attack. Yi Mo shook his head. I don't know, but I have to be careful. What if they really dare to do that? Pill City won't protect you guys for a dead Pill King. And I think it's 90% likely that they will attack. Yimo has experienced enough to know that when a person is still alive, the connections are still there. If something happened to him, no matter how much the Pill City Lord approved of him, Luo Ying and Qingxue would meet a tragic fate. Whether it was for him or the people with him, he felt it wasn't wrong to be careful. Plus, he was almost certain that those people would attack. The city lords of Pill City happened to leave right when he was going to leave. This was quite coincidental. If they didn't really have business, then it meant that someone drew them away. When they heard Yimo say the word dead, they immediately became nervous and grabbed Yimo's hands tightly. They had been hoping to find Yimo and stay together forever. Now they were just together for a month and there was potential death already. Seeing their worry, Yimo smiled and said, "Don't worry, I have already made arrangements. I've decided for us to go first." "What? Brother, didn't you say that even if we go together with Lu Qianbei we can't guarantee our safety? If we go first ourselves, how can we escape from the hunt of the Infinity Sect?" Tang Beiwei asked. Yimo said calmly, "The ship heading to Moyu City belongs to Jiling Qianbei. I've asked Jiling Qianbei to help set up a teleportation formation on the ship. When the ship starts, we'll take the teleportation formation to leave first. Then I can take you to Moyu City. As long as we get to Moyu City, they won't dare to attack the city." Yimo had decided to do this after careful consideration. He had Blood Moon and after he left the teleportation formation, he could take them towards Moyu City rapidly. As long as he left, even if the Infinity Sect's and Lightning Cloud Sect's power was greater than his protection squad, they wouldn't dare to kill anyone. The other people didn't know if it would work, but they all felt that was all they could do. In Pill City, a huge ship stopped outside the Pill Association. Almost all the Pill Kings and Pill City Elders came to send them off. 3 Truth Realization State Cultivators, 6 Disaster Transformation State Cultivators and 9 Cauldron Filling State Cultivators all went on the ship. Amidst the applause, the ship rose into the sky and disappeared from above Pill City. "I'm going to activate the teleportation formation, only 2 people need to stay here," Yimo looked up and said. "I will stay," Jiyu Wenqian said without hesitation. He was Hollow Spirit State Middle Stage Power. "I'll stay too," Mi Jinjie said. Yimo nodded. "In that case, the rest of the people can leave with us through the teleportation formation." Other than Yimo, Ning Qingxue, Luo Ying, Xin Jida and Luo Fei, there were Miao Wuren, Huang Lanlan and Gan Liang from Sword Valley as well as the couple Lin Yiban and Xu Tong. Jiling's ship was flying very fast and it had been more than a day since they Pill City. Jiling was talking with Lu Wu and the other 2 Truth Realization State Cultivators when at this time, Lu Wu suddenly got up. The rest of the people all got up seeing this. Even the Disaster Transformation State and Cauldron Filling State Cultivators came out. An even larger ship had stopped Jiling's ship. More than 10 unfamiliar faces walked out but before they attacked, their powerful force sweeping over. Jiling and the cultivators behind them were all shocked. They thought that this was a casual run to Moyu City that would get them a free cauldron of pills from Yimo, but there were such powerful foes waiting for them. There were more than 10 cultivators and half of them were in Truth Realization State. 9 Truth Realization State cultivators. Just these 9 were enough to kill everyone here. Plus, they had 9 Disaster Transformation State cultivators. Some people began to regret going on Yimo's ship and being stopped. Those people wore masks but clearly didn't care about getting recognized. So what if everyone knew they were Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect's Truth Realization State cultivators? Lu Wu laughed and his kai exploded. Covering your ears to steal the bell, you think no one knows who you are just because you wear a mask? You're enough to rob me. Brother Lu, I admire you, we're all Truth Realization State cultivator but Brother Lu is a Qianbei. We don't want to be your enemies so please move aside, we just want to kill Yimo. Everyone else has nothing to do with us. A Truth Realization State tertiary stage cultivator walked up and said. Lu Wu sneered, what if I don't agree? Then don't blame me, the cultivator said and waved his hand. A black rainbow fell on his hand. Before it was even released, it was suffocating the people present with pressure. Such a powerful magic artifact, this person hadn't even attacked but his magic artifact was this powerful. How terrifying would it be if it was in action? Lu Wu saw this and his face changed drastically. Infinity Sect is really willing to use a lot to kill Yi Mo. You've even taken out your sect treasure, the low-grade immortal artifact Shapeless Black Rainbow. Lu Wu and the rest fell silent. They'd even taken out their sect treasure. Clearly they were adamant on killing Yi Mo. That cultivator said deeply, "Friends, I won't say the reasons, but I can guarantee you that if you don't attack, we won't attack. We just want to kill one person, and that is Yi Mo. If you want to stop us, you will be our enemy. We will kill our enemies without hesitation." Lu Wu saw everyone fall silent and sighed. He thought Infinity Sect didn't dare to stop them, but they did and sent out all of their elites. Luckily that kid was cunning like a fox, otherwise even he wouldn't be able to protect him. Even so, Lu Wu wasn't someone anyone could abuse. He flipped his hand and an equally powerful magic artifact appeared in his hand. Low-grade immortal artifact Truth Hack Axe. Everyone knew Lu Wu had a low-grade immortal artifact, but it was still shocking to see it. "Brother Lu, are you really going to fight us to the death for an irrelevant cultivator?" that truth realization state tertiary stage asked. Lu Wu smiled. "Fight to the death with you? Just wait for the anger of the Pill City. Wait till the city lords come back." That cultivator didn't say anything after hearing this. No one knew what he was thinking. His eyes grew colder and colder, and after staring at Lu Wu for 2 seconds, he suddenly said coldly, "Attack." Immediately, the shapeless black rainbow was hacked out. Heavenly covering black rays swept out. A strong feeling of dimensional collapse came. Some cauldron-filling state charged out of the battlefield without hesitation. They were scared to be swooped away by that dimensional collapse. Lu Wu sneered and was fearless. He released his axe and a materialized axe shadow hacked towards the black rays. Rumble *, a huge explosion sounded and a dark hole appeared. Everyone knew that space itself had been torn by their fight. Lu Wu grunted and retreated a few miles out. That cultivator using the black rainbow spat a mouthful of blood and retreated tens of kilometers. When they took back their magic artifacts, the collapsed space started to recover and those cauldron-filling state cultivators looked at this in terror. No one spoke. Such a level of battle wasn't something they could fathom. They thought cauldron-filling state were the top cultivators, but compared to the battle of truth realization states, they were nothing. The other truth realization state cultivators had charged over. Jiling was slapped a few kilometers away by a truth realization state cultivator. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, Yi Mo and them came out of the teleportation formation. Yi Mo quickly packed away the teleportation formation material. Yi Mo was very happy with this teleportation formation. It was very stealthy and the distance was far. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, Yi Mo and them came out of the teleportation formation. Yi Mo quickly packed away the teleportation formation material. Yi Mo was very happy with this teleportation formation. It was very stealthy and the distance was far. In a short time, Yi Mo's blood moon disappeared amongst the clouds. Lu Wu was surrounded by 4 truth realization state cultivators. Even though he had a low-grade immortal artifact, he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood after being attacked by 2 truth realization state level 9s and 1 truth realization state peak stage as well as 1 truth realization state middle stage cultivator. With Lu Wu's temper, even though Yi Mo was gone, he wouldn't allow people to search the ship in front of him. However, although he was strong, he couldn't stop 4 truth realization state cultivators at the same time. Plus, there was one using a low-grade immortal artifact just like him. In this battle, he couldn't split his attention to take care of other cultivators. Jiling's ship had long been destroyed by the attacks of other truth realization state and disaster transformation state cultivators. The battleground was a mess. Although most cultivators didn't fight, some were still caught out. One cauldron-filling state didn't even go into the battle circle but was still swept away by the dark ray. Lu Wu stopped the shapeless black rainbow's attack again, and while he hacked the truth realization state middle stage cultivator into pieces, a green sword light also pierced his chest. He was instantly heavily injured. Lu Wu ate a pill and didn't dare to fight anymore. He knew that if it continued, he would die for sure. There were too many truth realization state cultivators. The Pill City Truth Realization State Cultivator was stopped by one person. Heaven Demon Sect's Le Yarrow was heavily injured and taken away by the sect's Truth Realization State Elder. They left immediately. Lu Wu also felt his cultivation essence began to weaken after that sword light hit him. He didn't dare to hesitate and darted away in a red beam of light. There were 12 Truth Realization State Cultivator participating in the battle, 17 Disaster Transformation State and 9 Cauldron Filling States. This could be said to be the largest scale battle in the last 500 years. One Truth Realization State Cultivator was killed by Lu Wu, but Lu Wu was also heavily injured and it was unknown where he went. 3 Cauldron Filling States died protecting Yi Mo. They were from Heaven Star Sect and Golden Sword Sect. 3 Disaster Transformation States died, 1 was from Black Ice Sect, 1 was Formation Grand Master Jiling, and the last one wore a mask. Other than this, Yi Mo's disciple Jiyu Wenqian and Sword Valley's elder Mi Zhenjie were killed. This battle shook the entire South Peace State cultivation realm, but after so many masters died, Yi Mo and the people around him had all disappeared. Yet even after this, the Pill City didn't say anything. Everyone knew it was the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect behind this, but the Pill City said nothing. This wasn't like them. With this, no one dared to say anything. Black Ice Sect lost a Disaster Transformation State Elder but didn't say anything. Jiling was a Formation Grandmaster, but all Formation Sect was only an 8-star sect. They weren't scared of an attack but they didn't dare to seek revenge. This was because they had the strongest defense and attack formation in the South Peace State cultivation realm. No sect could attack all Formation Sect, but formations couldn't be carried by your side. Blood Moon was extremely fast and this made Yi Mo feel very good. With this speed, it should be fine even if he crossed the Heartless Sea. Brother, what is Mo Yu City like? Tang Beiwei squeezed next to Yi Mo and sat down. These few days, her brother had been with his wives and she rarely had an opportunity to have a conversation with him. Yi Mo smiled. You will be very happy. That place is like Luo Yu City but prettier. Are Lu Qianbei and Ji Qianbei fine? Luo Ying asked. Yi Mo shook his head. There's no way something would happen to them. Even if they were stopped, as long as Lu Wu and Jiling Qianbei moved aside and let them search the ship, the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect would leave after not finding us. After Jiling Qianbei comes to Mo Yu City and helps us set up extreme-grade defense formations, even if the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect want to kill me, they wouldn't dare to attack. Luo Ying suddenly shook her head. Lu Qianbei is a master, how can he let someone check his ship? That's impossible. Yi Mo heard this and suddenly got up. He broke out in a cold sweat. He had calculated everything except Lu Wu's status. Lu Wu didn't mind small things, but letting these WN Beis search his ship was impossible. If something like this happened, Lu Wu would be ridiculed. If Lu Wu didn't agree to the ship search, what would happen? Bloody battle. There was no other possibility. Understanding this, Yi Mo instantly regretted. If he knew this, he wouldn't have asked Lu Wu to come. Stop. Yi Mo immediately told Lin Weiban, who was controlling the ship. Change directions, we can't go towards Mo Yu City. Lin Yiban changed direction without hesitation. What's going on? Tang Beiwei asked strangely. Yi Mo's face was very bad. I'm afraid they've begun fighting. Susu is right, a master like Lu Wu would never let Infinity Sect cultivators search the ship. Then what do we do? Tang Beiwei began to worry. Before Yi Mo could reply, a messenger flying sword landed in his hand. Yi Mo just scanned it simply before his face changed drastically. What happened? The people gathered around. Yi Mo put away the messenger flying sword and clenched his fists, said coldly, Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect stopped our ship. Lu Qianbei was heavily injured and fled. Jiling Qianbei, Black Ice Sect's Shi Qianbei, Heaven Star Sect's and Golden Sword Sect's 3 Cauldron Filling State Qianbeis as well as Sword Valley's Mi Zhenjie Qianbei, and Hu Wen Pill King were all killed. Heaven Demon Sect's Le Yarrow Qianbei is heavily injured. Luo Fei shook. The only Hollow Spirit State Elder of Sword Valley was killed. Xin Jida cried on the spot. Yi Mo didn't have time to teach her, she was taught completely by Jiyu Wenqian. Yet, This master and martial brother of hers was killed. Everyone fell silent, even Jiling was killed. Clearly Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect didn't care anymore. Ning Qingxue got up and held Yimo's hand, trying to make him relax. After a long while, Yimo said coarsely, "I did this to them. If I had waited till the city lords of Pill City were back before leaving, these things wouldn't have happened." Although Yimo knew that if the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect were onto him, it would be the same even if he waited in the Pill City for a few years. Plus, he needed to desperately increase his power. How could he waste time in the Pill City? Pill City was safe, but firstly he couldn't go into the Golden Page world to cultivate, and secondly he couldn't go find the Spirit Marrow place. The messenger flying sword is from the Pill City's Truth Realization State Elder. He told me I can't go back to Mo Yu City now. Then, Yimo said to Lin Yiban, "We can't go back to Mo Yu City indeed. Without Ji Ling Qian Bei to set up the formation, it's useless if we go. They won't do anything to Mo Yu City as long as we don't go there. Plus, the city lords of Pill City will eventually come back. As long as I'm not dead they will have some concerns." "Turn south, we'll head that way," Yimo suddenly said. Without power, no matter how good you were at other things, you would need to borrow other people's power. If the city lord could be drawn away once, they could be drawn away twice. At this moment, Yimo decided that if he didn't gain a certain level of power he would never come back and fight those 9-star sects. Pill City's Pill King, it sounded good, but once you left the Pill City, people would only be nice to you if they wanted to ask you for pill concoction. If they wanted to kill you, you were nothing. "Extreme south? That's Ice God Forbidden Grounds," Lin Yiban said. Yimo nodded. "That's right, we're going there. Only that place would be safe. Only there would we find the things we need." The map Shan Bingfeng gave him was of the Ice God Forbidden Grounds. Lightning Cloud Sect. Lightning Cloud Sect. Wang Chuanhe sat in the main palace with a bleak face. They didn't kill Yimo and Yimo didn't go back to Mo Yu City. It would just give Pill City a reason to start a war if they annihilated Mo Yu City. Plus, he was not interested in killing a few mortals. The reason he had a bleak face was because he now completely understood why Infinity Sect's Yang Feiqing had to kill Yimo. To Infinity Sect, Yimo absolutely must die. Yimo was this young and already a level 7 Pill King. He could kill Hollow Spirit State level 7 prodigies from Infinity Sect as a Hollow Spirit State level 1. He could even annihilate fire-eating bugs. He was absurd to the extreme. If there was any Hollow Spirit State cultivator who was as insane as Yimo, it could only be Chu Jiuyu. Even he wasn't absurd to this extent. If a cultivator like Yimo couldn't be connected with, then one must not have enmity with him. If you had enmity, you must kill him at all costs. Otherwise, once he became powerful, how could he let go of those who tried to harm him in the past? Yang Feiqing knew that they already had deathly enmity with Yimo, and that's why they risked everything. They'd mobilized all the Truth Realization State cultivators in their sect and even took out their sect treasure because they knew that if Yimo became powerful, Infinity Sect would be dead for sure. Before, they might have hated Yimo, but Yimo wasn't so hateful of them. But the Infinity Sect annihilated Sword Valley and then tried to scheme for Luo Susu. Plus Yimo killed many of Infinity Sect's core disciples, thus the Infinity Sect's hatred for Yimo was insane. His sect didn't really do much. Even after Tian Aofeng died, they didn't have a head-on conflict with Yimo or didn't have the time to yet. So, the conflict between Infinity Sect and Yimo was one of life and death, but not between them and Yimo. But that was only before. After ambushing Yimo's ship, they were also in a life and death conflict now and also offended the Pill City. At this moment Wang Chuanhe completely understood Yang Feiqing's bleak intentions. As long as he agreed, he wouldn't be able to retreat from this. Plus, they lost a Truth Realization State cultivator. If he had to choose between a Truth Realization State cultivator and Tian Aofeng, he would choose the Truth Realization State cultivator without hesitation. But it was too late to regret. Now, he couldn't even have conflict with Infinity Sect, only an alliance with Infinity Sect and protect them now. Tianji didn't dare to say anything at all now. The conflict between the sect and Yimo was mainly started by him because Tian Aofeng was his disciple. If they killed Yimo it was fine, But Yimo wasn't dead, and they instead offended the Pill City, Black Ice Sect, Heaven Demon Sect, Heaven Star Sect, Golden Sword Sect, All Formation Sect, and a Land Forgery God. Even if Forgery God yelled, there would be many people helping him, much less Yimo. It had been 3 months since the battle, and South Peace State calmed down instead. The Pill City didn't look for Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect for trouble. Neither did Black Ice Sect, as well as the other sects. Lu Wu seemed to have disappeared. Yimo's Moyu City was still the same. At the same time, that level 7 Pill King City Lord Yi also disappeared. In the extreme southlands of South Peace State, there was a blue flying ship flying rapidly. It had been flying for more than 3 months but still hadn't arrived at its destination. This was Yimo's Blood Moon. Yimo knew about the Ice God Forbidden Grounds from Shan Bingfeng's map, but he didn't know it was actually one of the 4 forbidden grounds of South Peace State. Lin Yiban told him this. The 4 forbidden grounds of South Peace State were Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds, Flame Sea Forbidden Grounds, Ice God Forbidden Grounds, and Truthfall Forbidden Grounds, in decreasing order of danger. The Ice God Forbidden Grounds was ranked above the Truthfall Palace Forbidden Grounds. Yimo knew how dangerous it would be even before going. The more Blood Moon flew south, the slower it got. Even the people on the Blood Moon felt the bone-chilling cold. Luckily Yimo was a formation great master and set up multiple cold defense formations that finally stopped the weak cultivation level people from shivering. Yimo even suspected that if he wasn't sitting on an extreme grade cultivation artifact, it would have frozen and cracked. Would there be spirit marrow here? Yimo found it hard to imagine, but he knew that Shan Bingfeng probably wouldn't lie to him. Another month later, it was even harder to go forward. Yimo scanned his spirit sense out and found even his spirit sense was about to get frozen here. Yimo didn't dare to be careless, although Blood Moon was an extreme grade cultivation artifact, who knew if it would crack. Yimo released his octagonal cauldron and went outside the inner room. He walked to the front of Blood Moon. Although he had the octagonal cauldron, he still shivered. The octagonal cauldron made cracking sounds as though it was getting hit by countless ice shards. But Yimo knew they weren't ice shards, it was true terrifying coldness. Yimo threw a few formation flags out, but before he could set up the defense forbidden grounds, they completely cracked. Helplessly, Yimo could only activate Blue Moon's own defense formation. Luo Ying and Qingxue stood at the door wanting to see Yimo as they were worried for him. Yimo signaled the two to go in and then took out Winter's Arrival from the Golden Page world. Ever since his power and Shadowless got stronger, he rarely used Winter's Arrival. This was the first time he took it out. He wanted to see if Winter's Arrival could absorb the extreme cold here. What Yimo didn't expect was that as soon as Winter's Arrival came out, it immediately attached to one side of Blue Moon and a faint white stream of Kai was being sucked up by Winter's Arrival. That white grew faster and faster until it almost materialized. Yimo rejoiced. Winter's Arrival could indeed absorb the intense cold here. As soon as the frost was devoured by Winter's Arrival, Blue Moon sped up. Soon, it was flying at normal speed. Yimo breathed easy. How can it be this fast? Lin Yiban looked outside in shock. He felt that extreme speed. I heard people say that once you're at the outskirts of Ice God Forbidden Grounds, even half-immortal artifacts would be slowed down. Yimo truly felt how powerful the Shadowless Worm was. Not only was it covered in treasure, but even the Winter's Arrival that came with its birth was this powerful. Just what was Shadowless? Pity that day he pretended he knew things and didn't ask Lu Wu. But now, Yimo had made up his mind and decided to ask clearly when he got out of this Ice God Forbidden Grounds. Blue Moon wasn't as cold as before due to Winter's Arrival, so the people inside came out to enjoy the scenery. We're at the outskirts now, Lin Yiban suddenly exclaimed. Yimo also saw it. He was shook. There were not only ice mountains here but also ice figures. There were a few hundred of them. Almost all of them were extremely beautiful women. They seemed alive but were frozen. So pitiful. Tang Beiwei said in shock. These women were clearly instantly frozen to death. What powerful being was this cruel and inhumane? These women aren't simple. Yimo looked at the frozen beautiful women and frowned. These women aren't simple. Yimo looked at the frozen beautiful women and frowned. With such terrifying coldness, ordinary people would have cracked into nothing. How could they maintain this look? Yimo took out the map. The map didn't show these women, but the scene shown on the map was clearly this place. There should be an ice river if he walked along this mountain. Yimo controlled Blue Moon to go in carefully and found there was indeed a long ice river. There was no water inside the river, just ice. There were all sorts of strange-shaped ice stones on the side of the banks as well as long ice shards. There were also other ice figures, but they weren't women anymore. There were all sorts of people. Some even maintained a battle position, others were missing hands or heads. Shan Bingfeng said she once came here. What power level was she? Was she hollow spirit state as well? If she was and she didn't have a magic artifact like Blue Moon, Yimo wouldn't believe she could come here alone. Or perhaps there wasn't this bone-chilling frost when she came, but that was impossible. Without it, this place wouldn't be called Ice God Forbidden Grounds. Yimo took out the map and looked at it carefully again. He found he was right, this was the place. Yimo kept flying Blue Moon along the riverbed, and after another 2 hours, Yimo felt something was wrong. There were some frozen bodies before, but the more he traveled the fewer the bodies. Eventually the river and the 2 sides were barren. Yimo took out the map again and he found he didn't seem to be on the wrong route. It's not right, brother. The map shows that the ice river gets wider and wider, but it's getting more and more narrow for us, Tang Beiwei suddenly pointed. Yimo looked carefully. It was indeed so. He really looked at the map wrong. Perhaps he went the wrong way. Yimo was about to change directions when the ice river suddenly cracked open without warning. Go in quickly. Yimo pushed Tang Beiwei inside and pulled out the octagonal cauldron. Rumble rumble after the huge sound, there was suddenly a powerful suction force at the cracked part of the ice river. This reminded Yimo of the swamp. Yimo instantly controlled Blue Moon to speed away. Luckily, with Winter's arrival's help, Blue Moon wasn't slowed down by the frost and rapidly charged out of the suction range. Yimo turned around and looked at the crack, which disappeared as though it had never appeared. Before Yimo could recover, he felt a dense spirit kai. It was the same feeling as the spirit marrow pond in the herb valley. It was comfortable to the extreme. He felt he only took in some of this spirit kai and his power grew. Such dense spirit kai. Lin Yiban called out in shock. Yimo didn't control Blue Moon to leave here. He looked at this ice river and realized why there was nothing around here. With the appearance of that crack and the terrifying suction force, anything would be sucked away. Just a small portion of spirit kai seeping out of the crack made him feel so good. What if he cultivated inside? Yimo didn't dare to imagine it. But Yimo didn't dare to go down. He wasn't alone now. What if there was some danger there? Suddenly, Lin Yiban saluted with his fists to Yimo. City Lord, I. Yimo knew what he wanted to say and asked, do you want to go into the riverbed? Lin Yiban nodded firmly. Yes, City Lord, the spirit kai down there is extraordinary. It's clearly a good place for cultivation. I think I'll stay in this cultivation level for my entire life if I don't get a place like this to cultivate. But if I go in there, I might be able to reach truth realization state. Yimo looked back at Luo Ying and them and suddenly said, in that case, let's go in together. He was furious to the extreme that Ji Ling was killed by Infinity Sect. Ever since he had come to South Peace State, he had been taken care of and helped by Ji Ling many times. Even a good guy like Ji Ling was killed. It could be said that Ji Ling had only provided help to the South Peace State cultivation realm and no harm. Many big sects' defense formations were set up by him, and yet someone like him was killed. How could Yimo feel good? Even if he was to die, he would get revenge for Ji Ling. If he wanted revenge, he needed power. If he wanted power, he needed a good place to cultivate. Clearly the riverbed was a good place to go. Yimo didn't ask Luo Ying and them. He knew that they would follow him no matter where he went. Yimo stopped Blue Moon, but that crack didn't appear again. He waited till midday on the 3rd day and decided to stop waiting. Just when he was about to keep searching for the spirit marrow place, the crack appeared again. The suction force came, but Yimo didn't escape with Blue Moon this time. He tried to reduce Blue Moon's speed, but even so, Blue Moon fell down with a terrifying speed like a comet. With past experience, Yimo kept throwing out formation flags, and luckily it wasn't as cold as above, so the formation flags didn't freeze. It couldn't stop Blue Moon, but it slowed them down. Rumble Blue Moon smashed into the riverbed, but luckily no one was hurt. Lin Yiban was a body condensation state cultivator, and he got off with Shu Tong from Blue Moon first. He immediately said in surprise and joy, "This place has no cold, the spirit Kai is really terrifyingly dense. This is the best place for cultivation, it's better than eating any spirit pill." Yimo also got off, and the rest of the people did so as well. Yimo put away Blue Moon and studied this place. There was nothing else but the dense spirit Kai and some fine sand. This fine sand extended to a distant place. One couldn't see the end of it, even if one scanned with spirit sense, it would strangely disappear. "This isn't Ice God Forbidden Grounds," Lin Yiban said with certainty. "I heard my father say that even hollow spirit states wouldn't be able to get in the outskirts of Ice God Forbidden Grounds without help. Inside Forbidden Grounds is even more dangerous, you can lose your life at any time. But this place only has dense spirit Kai but no danger." Yimo nodded in agreement. If he didn't have winter's arrival to suck the frost around Blue Moon, even if he could come in it would be a month or two later, and this was if his Blue Moon didn't break. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get out. Yimo thought of the frozen bodies, perhaps they didn't have good armor or flying magic artifacts to protect them, that's why they died. Since this place opens every 3 days, then how come only we can come inside? Tang Beiwei asked. Yeah, that's true, they weren't the only ones coming to the Forbidden Grounds, why was nobody else here? There was no way people wouldn't come here for fear of danger. Wait, since this place has that powerful suction force, the things pulled in before should be here. But how come I see nothing but fine sand? Gan Liang asked. Yimo suddenly had a bad feeling. If there was nothing else here, where did the sand come from? Yimo suddenly had a bad feeling. If there was nothing else here, where did the sand come from? Thinking about this, he suddenly felt Shadowless grow restless in the Golden Page world. He saw Shadowless fly next to Blue Moon and open its mouth, sucking in some sand. This gave Yimo a strange feeling as the sand seemed worried when being devoured by Shadowless, but Shadowless was very active. Yimo felt that it was very happy. Yimo thought, why did Shadowless eat the fine sand? Why would sand have emotions? Yimo instantly had a bad feeling. There was something wrong with the fine sand. He immediately called out, "Nobody move." Miao Wuren and Gan Liang were planning to search along the fine sand but immediately stopped. He quickly took out Mist Lotus Heartfire and instantly covered everyone. Everyone had a layer of Mist Lotus Heartfire covering them. Other than Miao Wuren and Huang Lanlan, no one else even flinched. Yimo felt very assured with Lin Yiban and Shu Tong's reaction. Lin Yiban was body condensation state tertiary stage and Shu Tong was body condensation state middle stage. If they wanted to resist, it would be very easy, but they didn't do so. Now that they were enveloped by his heaven flame, even though they were body condensation state, he could kill the two at any time. Yet even in this situation, the two didn't move. Yimo knew they were set on following him. Yimo wasn't going to burn them, of course. He swept with the flame and all the sand below them disappeared, along with the sand around them. Where people stood showed ground without the fine sand, it was a greyish-white rock. Yimo put away the heaven flame and Lin Yiban asked in shock, "Is that fine sand area alive?" Yimo nodded. After the flame had cleared the fine sand, there was a faint stench in the air. Why didn't they move if they were alive? What are they? Why do they look like fine sand? Shinjida asked in confusion. Then, the empty space burned away by Yimo's flame started having fine sand appear again. They seemed to have moved over from the distance. It was slow but it never seemed to stop. So disgusting. Huang Lanlan frowned. Yimo threw down tens of formation flags and said heavily, "If I'm not wrong, this fine sand is a rare spirit bug called Spirit Devouring Bug." Spirit Devouring Bug? Lin Yiban called out in shock. Yimo nodded. Yes, they are probably spirit devouring bugs, but not completely. The spirit devouring bug was ranked under the fire-eating bug, but it wasn't weaker than it. It was ranked 11th, and once matured, it had terrifying offensive capabilities. It was even faster than fire-eating bug. Master, why aren't they completely spirit-devouring bug? Are they scary? Shinjidar subconsciously neared Luo Fei. The fine sand already seemed disgusting just knowing it was alive, much less standing on it. Yi Mo threw down a few formation flags and set up a defense formation, not allowing the sand from outside to come in. Spirit-devouring bugs devoured all that had spirit kai regardless whether it was alive or dead. These bugs are probably just eggs and haven't hatched. If they hatched, they wouldn't be slow like before. Huang Lanlan shivered. Big brother Yi, you're saying that even though they are eggs they would still slowly devour us, right? Luo Fei answered this time. The things sucked into here before are all gone. Everyone fell silent. Clearly the things that fell in here before were devoured by these eggs. Even the stones with spirit kai were devoured. Luckily Master has flame and if they come we can burn them. Shinjidar broke the silence. Lin Yiban smiled bitterly but didn't explain. Yi Mo had heaven flame but there were countless spirit-devouring bugs. Could he burn them constantly with heaven flame? Yi Mo's cultivation essence would dry up first before all the bugs were burned. Yi Mo wasn't worried about this. He was thinking about when and if the bugs hatched, would their offensive power increase hundreds of times? Brother, what do we do? Tang Beiwei subconsciously walked to Yi Mo. This place must have an extreme grade spirit range or people wouldn't leave the eggs to hatch here, Yi Mo said with certainty. Huh? Tang Beiwei exclaimed. You're saying that someone left these eggs here? Definitely, this suction force is also a formation. Yi Mo saw it clearly now. This place was different than the Jiao River swamp. Spirit sense couldn't scan out of here due to the formation. If all the spirit-devouring bugs hatched, then even a sect would disappear in the blink of an eye. These eggs only needed dense spirit kai to hatch. Later on they would then need to devour some live spirit-containing bodies like cultivators or spirit beasts. This formation isn't open for long, meaning that even if people came here before, there wouldn't be a lot. But soon, there would be more and more people coming here, Yi Mo said with certainty. He didn't explain as the spirit-devouring bugs had begun to mature, they would need large amounts of cultivators to devour. Only then could they hatch. After they hatched, they wouldn't need cultivators to come in, they could find a place with dense spirit kai to evolve themselves. This was a long process and clearly the person setting up the formation had already thought of it. Even though Yi Mo knew what this place was about, he couldn't leave. Yi Mo was a level 6 formation great master, but he couldn't even see the corner of this formation, much less break free. That person wasn't scared that no one would come as once this river bed opened, that dense spirit kai was irresistible. Himself and Lin Yiban were an example, they came in of their own will. There would be more cultivators wanting to come in here, no one could resist this dense spirit kai. Anyone would want to find out about this place. Death wasn't a threat to cultivators. Only after a certain amount of time with no people coming out alive would people gradually stop coming. It could be said that the cultivator who set everything up here had a very clear grasp on cultivators' mentality. Thinking about this, Yi Mo's back began to sweat. He thought of that space-devouring spirit in the Herb Valley and the Truthful Palace Level 7 Invisible Master. Would this all be done by the same person? If that was the case, what did this person want to do? Did he want to rule the entire cultivation realm or annihilate it? No one spoke. Yi Mo cast these thoughts aside and smiled. Perhaps this is the place we wanted to find. I'm not sure if there's spirit marrow here, but I'm sure there's something on par with it. But these eggs? Lin Yiban asked. Yi Mo nodded. We don't need to care about them for now. Let's find the source of the dense spirit kai. After we pull away the spirit kai, these bugs will die themselves. These bugs were powerful, but there were strict conditions for them to hatch. Without dense spirit kai, they would die quickly. Just when Yi Mo was about to pave the way with Shadowless, there was another loud rumble. Another flying magic artifact smashed down tens of meters from them. Yi Mo and them didn't move, for cultivators got off the flying magic artifact. They were 4 body condensation states. They saw Yi Mo and them immediately. Yi Mo and them didn't move, for cultivators got off the flying magic artifact. They were 4 body condensation states. They saw Yi Mo and them immediately. Hey, The sand, you can't. Huang Lanlan just said half a sentence before she was dragged behind Luo Fei. After Luo Fei's sect was annihilated and she was abandoned by the person she loved, she was no longer the same her as before. She had completely matured. She couldn't tell the power level of the people who just got off, but they were clearly more powerful than them. Regardless of whether they were enemies or friends, Luo Fei didn't want to remind them. Such dense spirit Kai. A yellow cultivator-robed middle-aged man took a deep breath and said. Such powerful female cultivators. A triangle-eyed cultivator saw Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue and suddenly said. A skinny-faced cultivator quickly stopped this cultivator and saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Did you guys get sucked down as well? He was speaking to Yi Mo and them, but his eyes looked at Lin Yiben, clearly thinking that Lin Yiben was in charge. Yes, we were also sucked down. Lin Yiben nodded. Suddenly, that triangle-eyed cultivator said again, are those few female cultivators with you? Yi Mo's face sunk immediately. He was thinking about whether he should warn them about the sand, but the eyes he looked at Luo Ying with made him extremely uncomfortable, so he didn't say anything. And now, he still asked about the female cultivators. This guy was not a good person. Lin Yiben's face sunk. He looked at Yi Mo. If it wasn't because they had 4-body condensation state, he might have attacked already. Yi Mo shook his head. There was no need to attack. If they fought, they would not be a match. The triangle-eyed cultivator still wanted to say something but was stopped by the yellow-robed cultivator. Brother Hai, this place doesn't seem right. It's completely empty other than the sand on the ground. Clearly, the cultivator meant that now wasn't the time to talk about women. It was important to know what this place was. The women wouldn't fly off. The triangle-eyed cultivator nodded. Although those few female cultivators came with the 2-body condensation states, if he wanted them, they would give them over. No one would fight with their life against higher-powered people for a female cultivator. Yi Mo's eyes went icy cold, but he didn't do anything. These 4 cultivators didn't know them at all. Clearly they had been here for a long time, perhaps more than a year. Otherwise, even a deaf would know something about him. Those few cultivators started walking further inside. It's not right. We waited for 3 days for that crack to open. How come there are also more people here not long after we came down? Lin Yiben asked. Yi Mo scanned with spirit sense but couldn't scan out, so he thought for a bit and said, perhaps that crack doesn't have a set time. What I'm afraid is that this crack might have stayed open after we came in. Those people probably came over due to the intense spirit Kai. Brother, you said that this place must have an extreme grade spirit range and even spirit marrow. Those people already walked ahead. Should we follow? Tang Beiwei asked worriedly. Yi Mo shook his head. We need to go up but not with them. Let's change directions. There might be more and more people here. If someone send news out, there will certainly be more people coming. The outskirts of Ice God Forbidden Grounds was terrifying, but people should be able to get in with extreme grade flying cultivation artifacts. Which big sect didn't have 1 or 2 of those? Just when everyone thought Yi Mo was going to pave the way with Heaven Flame, Yi Mo called out to Shadowless. As soon as Shadowless came out, it shrieked in excitement and charged out. Those people immediately saw that the sand seemed to have seen something terrifying and retreated, but it was too slow. Yi Mo saw Shadowless fly into the air, and then those eggs formed a grey stream that went straight into Shadowless' mouth. Everyone was shook that a green pea-sized thing devoured this many eggs. Even Ning Qingxue was dazed and asked, Husband, this thing is only that big, how can it eat so much? Yi Mo said awkwardly, I don't know as well. When it was first born, it ate something 100 times bigger than itself. This is Shadowless Worm. Lin Yiben suddenly said. You know about Shadowless Worm? Yi Mo rejoiced. Lin Yiben nodded. I've heard my father talk about it. He said something like not a spirit bug, not immortal, not number 1 Shadowless Worm. This Shadowless Worm is one of the most precious things in the cultivation realm, yet City Lord got it. Congratulations. Yi Mo waved his hand. Brother Lin, hurry up and tell me what that means. I really want to know. Lin Yiben said without hesitation, Shadowless Worm isn't a spirit bug and doesn't appear in the cultivation realm. I don't know how City Lord got it, but it definitely wouldn't appear in the cultivation realm. It looks just like a spirit bug, but all the spirit bugs and the rare spirit bugs rank fear Shadowless Worm. Then isn't it the first? Why isn't it the first? Huang Lanlan asked. Lin Yiban shook his head. Because a long time ago, someone got the shadowless worm and came to the cultivation realm. It grew famous really quickly and some Qianbei placed shadowless as the first on the ranking, but soon, someone found that even the most powerful spirit bug would become very worried seeing shadowless. Soon, they found that shadowless wasn't of the same caliber as the other bugs, so they didn't list it in it. Then why isn't it immortal? Huang Lanlan asked. Lin Yiban shook his head, that I don't know. Yimo suddenly said, Brother Lin, your father must be a very powerful person, right? Lin Yiban's eyes showed some reminiscence and sadness before saying, Yes, my father is very great. It's because my ancestor is an extremely talented person. Even when people mention him now, they are full of respect. City Lord, I won't hide it from you, my ancestor is Chu Jiuyu. I'm a descendant of Chu Jiuyu. Everyone looked at him in shock, but he said angrily, My ancestor's 9-star village was taken over by a group of house servants. Ever since my great-grandpa, we've been working to take back our home. My father gave me the name Lin Yiban because Lin is half the character of Chu. The day I get back to 9-star village is when I restore the Chu name. Yimo realized, no wonder he felt this Lin Yiban name was quite strange. He thought that since Lin Yiban was a descendant of Chu Jiuyu, would he know about fish jump through Dragon Gate? Yimo just wanted to ask Lin Yiban when he heard a scream. Moments later, a cultivator came charging out from the inside. He was clearly a body condensation state who went in. But now, he was covered in sand, specifically spirit-devouring bugs. He didn't go very far and quickly fell into the sand and was covered by it. Then, the pile of sand also disappeared. Yimo's heart sunk. Those spirit bugs that devoured cultivator essence blood would have hatched, otherwise they wouldn't devour a body condensation state cultivator this quickly. At this moment, Shadowless suddenly stopped devouring the eggs and let out a sharp shriek before charging at those hatched spirit-devouring bugs. At this moment, Shadowless suddenly stopped devouring the eggs and let out a sharp shriek before charging at those hatched spirit-devouring bugs. Some spirit-devouring bugs already started to mature and some even grew wings. After they saw Yimo and them, they were going to swoop over, but when Shadowless let out the sharp shriek, they all quickly retreated. But Yimo had a feeling that it seemed one spirit-devouring bug was faster and smarter. It didn't fly in the same direction as the others. It chose another direction and flew off. How was this newly hatched spirit-devouring bug so smart? Yimo didn't think much of it, and seeing that Shadowless was going to chase after them, Yimo forcefully called it back. Shadowless wanted to devour more eggs but was stopped by Yimo. Yimo was scared this guy would fall into a slumber again. He didn't let Shadowless pave the way, as although the spirit-devouring bug's eggs would move to the sides, they were too slow. So, he just used his heaven flame to pave the way. Shadowless was on his shoulder, and after Yimo burned out a path and Shadowless released its kai, no spirit-devouring bugs dared to come over. After they walked out for a long while and the spirit-devouring bugs couldn't sense Shadowless' kai, then they dared to close up and keep lurking. Without Shadowless, Yimo would have no time to rest, but with Shadowless, Yimo could sit down and rest when he was tired. 6 hours later, as Yimo and them went deeper and deeper, the spirit-devouring bugs' eggs moved faster and faster. It was clear they were about to hatch and there were some spirit-devouring bugs flying around. The further he went inside, the more flying spirit-devouring bugs there were. No wonder that body condensation state was eaten, there were ones that could fly here. But Shadowless was on Yimo and they didn't dare to come near at all. After another half a day, Yimo saw explosions and spirit kai waves ahead. Yimo saw 3 cultivators sitting in a defense formation disc trying to attack all spirit-devouring bugs that entered. The spirit-devouring bugs were dense and clustered, forming layers and layers, trying to break the defense formation disc. Yimo could only see 3 cultivators trying to clear the spirit-devouring bugs that were meters thick. But as soon as they destroyed a layer, more spirit-devouring bugs would go up. It seemed endless. More and more spirit-devouring bugs surrounded them as time went on. Yimo suddenly thought of a strange question: where did the essence spirit of the cultivator who just died go? The spirit-devouring bugs just hatched, they couldn't devour essence spirit. Body condensation state essence spirit was much stronger than hollow spirit state cultivator. Hollow spirit state and below, their essence spirit would mostly break after being killed except for those few with strong essence spirit. But body condensation state essence spirit had a certain level of self-protection capability. If the essence spirit got away and found a body, it could slowly become a spirit cultivator. It was very hard for spirit cultivators to live, but those who survived killed people invisibly. It was hard for cultivators to defend against that. Despite this, many cultivators hoped to encounter high-level spirit cultivators as they had high-level spirit cleansing beads. The three cultivators were the triangle-eyed cultivator, the yellow-robed one, and one that never spoke. That skinny cultivator had disappeared. They were really fast indeed. Yimo and them had to walk for a full day before seeing them. When Yimo saw them, they also saw Yimo and them. That triangle-eyed cultivator immediately screamed out in shock, "How come you guys are fine?" But he immediately saw Yimo's heaven flame and immediately had a greedy look that quickly disappeared. He called out, "Friends, help. Hurry up and annihilate those spirit-devouring bugs." Yimo was dazed. How was there someone as stupid as him? Who did he think he was? Of course Yimo wasn't going to help. He was even afraid that Shadowless would affect the spirit-devouring bugs, so he moved away. As soon as Yimo moved away, the three cultivators began to worry. Those spirit-devouring bugs that retreated a little due to Shadowless moved up again. "Wait, Heaven Flame friend, I'm from 9-star sect God Wind Valley. Help me burn these bugs and I, Wu Gari, will remember your favor," the yellow-robed cultivator said. Yimo didn't seem to hear it, so what if he was from the God Wind Valley? If he was from Heaven Demon sect he might go help, but this time God Wind Valley just sent a cauldron-filling state cultivator to help him. Clearly they just wanted him to concoct pills. They had 5 truth realization state cultivators. So Yimo didn't have a bad impression of them but not much gratitude either. Plus, he really disliked the triangle-eyed cultivator. How could he save them? The triangle-eyed cultivator saw this and rushed out of the formation disk like crazy, wanting to stop Yimo and them, but after just a few meters, he was surrounded by countless spirit-devouring bugs. His body shield cultivation essence and magic artifact were like paper and instantly broken. Yimo then saw another strange spirit-devouring bug flying away in another direction and immediately understood. He signaled Shadowless to chase. Shadowless devoured that spirit-devouring bug and its body grew like a bubble. Yimo was shook. He wasn't afraid of Shadowless exploding but that it would sleep again. But luckily Shadowless didn't sleep, it instead wobbled around satisfyingly before landing on Yimo's shoulder again and again. Its stomach also sagged down quickly. Even though Shadowless was Yimo's, he was amazed at its digestive abilities. Yimo knew that Shadowless didn't just devour a spirit-devouring bug but also that triangle-eyed essence spirit. That triangle eye clearly attached his essence spirit to a spirit-devouring bug and wanted to escape and turn into a spirit cultivator. That strange spirit-devouring bug that flew away before also had an essence spirit attached to it. Yimo even took out Thing and had a red. He found that cultivators beyond hollow spirit state who were devoured by spirit-devouring bugs could indeed attach their essence spirit to a spirit-devouring bug as long as their essence spirit wasn't damaged. But it also said that if his essence spirit wasn't powerful to a scary extent, he would lose his own will after attaching to spirit-devouring bugs. It would become a spirit-devouring bug that knew magic. It would be countless times more powerful than ordinary ones, but it wouldn't become a spirit cultivator. Yimo put Thing away and took a cold breath in. He thought the keeper of spirit-devouring bugs just wanted to own these spirit-devouring bugs, but he had such a grand plan. If these spirit-devouring bugs devoured thousands of cultivators, what a powerful force would that be? Yimo ignored the 2 remaining cultivators' plea for help and quickly took them to leave here. It didn't matter what the owner of these spirit-devouring bugs wanted, if he didn't have a certain level of power, he didn't need to worry. But suddenly Yimo stopped. He saw everyone look at him and he asked, "Have you realized something? We chose a different direction than them. How come we can see them here?" After Yimo brought this up, everyone realized it. They clearly chose another direction. How did they meet those cultivators? After Yimo brought this up, everyone realized it. They clearly chose another direction. How did they meet those cultivators? Did we go into a maze where we seem to be going around but we actually haven't moved from the spot? Tang Beiwei asked worriedly. It's a formation, and we definitely didn't stay where we are because the spirit Kai is getting denser as we go, Yimo said. No one spoke, everyone agreed with Yimo. This was probably a formation, and the only person who knew formations was Yimo. Yimo fell silent for a long while before saying, "Let's not walk first, let me think of a way." Then, Yimo set up a defense formation with formation flags. No one disturbed Yimo, they all sat down on the side cultivating or looking at the dense clusters of spirit-devouring bugs. A few hours later, another howl sounded. Everyone knew that those two relying on the defense formation probably reached their limit and got devoured. Lin Yiban subconsciously shivered. If he didn't come with Yimo and took Shu Tong down here himself, that would have been his fate as well. Yimo didn't care about the outside, he had calmed down and listened to the earth carefully. He was sure there was a maze formation, but his formation skills were limited and he couldn't see it. Yimo knew it was pointless to try scan his spirit sense out. With a formation master like this, he could easily set up a few spirit sense maze formations to distract him. Since eyes and spirit sense didn't work, he used his ears. He didn't believe that the guy would even be able to distort sound. He didn't believe the guy would expect someone to sit down amongst the spirit-devouring bugs and take a few hours to listen. No cultivator would have the mood to sit down and listen amongst these spirit-devouring bugs. But Yimo could, as he had Shadowless and the 3-birth chant that could allow him to focus. Time went past slowly and Yimo had been sitting for half a day. No one was worried. Luo Ying, Qingxue and Tang Beiwei and them went wherever Yimo went. If Yimo died, they wouldn't want to live as well. The rest of the people knew that only Yimo could take them out of here. Yimo got up and started taking out formation flags. He heard a gurgling sound from one direction. It wasn't very rhythmic, but it sounded from the direction they just came from. All other directions were very silent except for the shifting sounds of spirit-devouring bugs. Yimo set up an anti-disruption formation in that direction, and indeed a faint area of visibility showed up. Before, they couldn't see very far, but after Yimo set up this formation, they could see further. Yimo smiled and knew his method was right. He turned around and said to everyone, "It'll work if we head along this path." After a few kilometers, Yimo sat down and listened once again, changing directions and setting up another formation before going. They walked and stopped like this for 5 days. This time, Yimo didn't set up a formation as the gurgling sound was right in front of them. But no matter how he looked forward, there was still just a bunch of fine sand-like spirit-devouring bugs. When he walked forward, the gurgling sound would weaken, but when he retreated it would grow loud again. Seeing everyone look at him, Yimo suddenly said, "If I'm not wrong there should be a stealth formation here, but my formation skills are too low and I can't tell. Husband, how about you tell us the direction of the formation and we can attack together," Ning Qingxue suggested. Yimo clapped. "Yeah, why didn't I think of this? No matter how powerful a stealth formation is, it's just a stealth formation. No matter how weak our attacks are, it should show it." Then, Yimo fired a fireball and said, "It's there, everyone attack." Yimo saw his fireball was stopped mid-air, meaning he was right. This was indeed a stealth formation and it had defense capabilities. Lin Yiban and them rejoiced and released their magic artifacts. With the 2 body condensation state cultivators Lin Yiban and Shu Tong joining in, their attacks went up a caliber. But Yimo stopped attacking as he saw the outlines of a formation. It was a type of stealth formation he had never seen. The means with which the formation was laid were unimaginable. Some formation flags were hidden mid-air being nourished by spirit Kai, they didn't need any spirit stones at all. Yimo set up another defense formation around everyone and started sitting down and studying this formation. Rumblings sounded and more of the formation showed with everyone's attacks, but it didn't seem to break at all. As soon as everyone stopped attacking, the stealth formation would gradually recover. Facing such a powerful formation, even Lin Yiban and Shu Tong were shocked. They had never seen a formation like this, and this was mainly a stealth formation. Everyone saw Yimo study the formation and knew they had to keep attacking to show more of the formation so Yimo could study it. Yimo had completely immersed himself in this formation. This formation means was no weaker than his. But Yimo knew he was only a formation great master, he hadn't formed his own unique system yet. Another day passed and Yimo started to make formation flags. After he was done, he said to everyone, "No need to attack anymore. This formation isn't mainly a defense formation, but with our power, we won't be able to break it even if we attack for a month." Yimo knew clearly that this formation was a top-grade formation. Even truth realization state cultivators needed to use some means to break it, much less body condensation state. After everyone stopped, Yimo started throwing down formation flags. Moments later, he took them back and threw them in other places. He tested this hundreds of times before suddenly stopping. "What's wrong?" Tang Beiwei asked worriedly. "I understand." A completely new set of formation theory formed in Yimo's brain. Position wasn't the only mean to calculate formation, there was also space and maybe even time. But right now, he didn't even understand space, much less time. But that didn't matter, Yimo had a new outlook on formation. He didn't stop at all as he threw out more formation flags. After a moment, a passage was revealed before them. "It's open." Everyone rejoiced. They were still a little worried despite having Shadowless here. These spirit-devouring bugs killed even body condensation state cultivators, much less low-level cultivators like them. But no one went into the tunnel, they were all waiting for Yimo. Yimo closed his eyes and thought for a while before opening them. He knew he had reached level 7 formation Grandmaster. His formation means had now become a new system. As long as he worked hard, it wouldn't be hard to surpass Jiling Qianbei. Thinking about Jiling, Yimo's fury towards Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect increased crazily. He swore that once he reached truth realization state, he would wipe them off the face of the continent. Once he collected his mind, Yimo saw everyone looking at him and he immediately said, "There's no danger in there, you guys go in first. I'll go last." Yimo needed to go last as he need to collect the formation flags. This place wouldn't be a secret soon and he didn't want to leave this passage for others. Even the spirit-devouring bugs might use this passage. As Yimo and them walked in the tunnel, Yimo took back the formation flags and the tunnel disappeared again. After 15 minutes, everyone stopped. No one cared that this place was countless times colder than where they came from. Even the breath they blew out froze into icicles. This was because they were shocked by the scene in front of them. After 15 minutes, everyone stopped. No one cared that this place was countless times colder than where they came from. Even the breath they blew out froze into icicles. This was because they were shocked by the scene in front of them. A huge spirit pond appeared before them. There were all sorts of white jade or green jade seats and octagonal tables. Everything was extremely luxurious. Tens of maids held plates at all positions, some plates even had white kettles and spirit fruit that had turned into stone. Just like outside, all the maids here were frozen into ice. They still kept their original look but no one was alive. Even the spirit pond was dried up. Just like outside. Luo Fei said bitterly. Lin Yiban nodded. "It's like outside, but have you noticed, although this place is cold, it isn't as cold as outskirts of Ice God Forbidden Grounds. Is this place the Ice God Forbidden Grounds?" Gan Liang asked. Yimo shook his head. Definitely not, if it was this comfortable, it wouldn't be called Ice God Forbidden Grounds. Yimo had been to the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds and since Ice God Forbidden Grounds was ranked even higher than that, it would only be more dangerous than it, not just a little cold like now. This place is like a small immortal gathering. Who are these people? Tang Beiwei asked shakily. There are spirit-devouring bugs here too, Shu Tong suddenly said. Yimo saw it too, they had hatched. These spirit-devouring bugs probably came from outside to find a place to evolve. Yimo looked at the few hundred spirit-devouring bugs and said. Yimo let out Shadowless and those spirit-devouring bugs immediately wanted to run when they saw it, but Shadowless was extremely fast. In a brief moment, all these spirit-devouring bugs were devoured by Shadowless. Yimo walked to where those spirit-devouring bugs came in from and set up a few formation flags. Then, a meter-tall tree appeared before them. There were 9 fruits on the tree, but the fruit didn't seem completely ripe yet. Level 9 spirit tree shaw fruit. Lin Yiban called out in shock. Yimo knew shaw fruit, of course. It was a level 9 spirit herb. It was one of the main ingredients for Disaster Life Pill. It could increase a cauldron filling state's chance of reaching disaster transformation state by 20%. I heard that the shaw fruit doesn't have any flavor. It indeed doesn't, Shu Tong also said in shock. Yimo said, it's not that it doesn't have flavor but just that we can't smell it. It has a strange smell that only spirit bugs can sense. No matter how far they are, spirit bugs would be able to find their way here. Spirit-devouring bugs, a few people questioned at the same time. Yes. Yimo nodded. He didn't need to explain for them to understand. No one could find their way here with the stealth and defense formation set outside, but as long as a tiny gap was left, the spirit-devouring bugs would be able to find their way here by the smell. Indeed, they saw a few more spirit-devouring bugs fly in here, but they were all immediately devoured by Shadowless. Yimo moved the tree into his golden page world without hesitation. Then, Yimo knew it was impossible for the spirit-devouring bugs to find their way here anymore except for a few extreme lucky ones. But even so, Yimo didn't intend to let them come in anymore. Yimo kept throwing out formation flags and that tiny hole was quickly filled up. Yimo breathed easy. Even if those remaining spirit-devouring bugs all hatched, if they couldn't find a place to evolve they would die. He had sabotaged the plan of another guy. He wondered if that guy would be furious if he knew, but Yimo didn't care. He had offended too many people, he didn't care anymore. As long as his power was high to an extent that no one dared to say a thing, it was fine. Then, Yimo called out Snow Fox. If he didn't have Snow Fox he would spare some spirit-devouring bugs to find the spirit grounds. Such a pretty fox. Husband, is this the fox you were looking for in the Nei Snow Mountains last time? Luo Ying asked. Everyone liked Snow Fox as soon as it came out. This little guy was too cute. It had shiny white fur and seemed a little chubby. Everyone wanted to pet it. No, I found it here. I don't know where the Nei one went. Yimo shook his head. Snow Fox saw that Tang Beiwei wanted to catch it and it turned into a white shadow darting past her. Even with Tang Beiwei's golden core state level 6 power she wasn't able to catch it. Amazing speed. Tang Beiwei exclaimed. Shu Tong smiled. This spirit-seeking beast is already a level 5 peak stage spirit beast. It's about to reach level 6. It's no wonder you can't catch it. What? This little fox is about to be a level 6 spirit beast. Tang Beiwei called out in shock. When the Snow Fox first came into his possession it was still level 5 primary stage, but due to the abundant spirit Kai in his golden page world, it soon progressed. The Snow Fox ran to the left corner and desperately clawed with its claws. Yimo immediately went over and threw out a few formation flags. Another stealth formation was revealed before them. Yimo, with experience, easily opened up a pathway showing a semicircular door. After going in, there was a feeling of extreme comfort. My God, so much spirit marrow, even Shu Tong couldn't help exclaiming. Even Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue couldn't resist running out, there was just too much spirit marrow. With this dense spirit Kai, it meant that the spirit marrow wasn't low level, it was at least top grade if not extreme grade. Yimo put up formation flags to seal this place before looking at it. It was a huge palace. Other than Spirit Marrow Pond, there was nothing else. Each Spirit Marrow Pond was full, clearly no one had cultivated here for a long time. There were also spirit crystals scattered around every spirit pond. Some were even high-level spirit crystals. No one went in to cultivate, everyone waited for Yimo. Yimo counted, there were 16 spirit marrow ponds. There were only 10 people here. This spirit marrow of this place was of much high caliber than the one in the Herb Valley. Thinking about this Yimo said, one each, collect the spirit crystals by your pond. Hearing this, Lin Yiban and Shu Tong took a spirit marrow pond, then Gan Liang, Luo Fei, and them. Yimo told Tang Beiwei to choose one and then he said to Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue, You guys are golden core state peak stage, I have cow horn pill here, you can break through to nascent soul state now and then cultivate in the spirit marrow pond. As for your cultivation method, use mine. With Yimo's protection, the two reached nascent soul state without danger. After the divine damnation, Yimo, Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying also went to cultivate. He set up a level 7 defense and attack formation first. Even in here, Yimo was very careful. Who knew if someone would suddenly appear? Yimo saw everyone cultivating diligently, spirit Kai whirlpools forming above their heads. He knew everyone's power would increase a lot after this, but he wasn't in a rush to cultivate. He took out that time formation disc instead. He didn't plan to let everyone come in and cultivate. Even if it was just for himself, it would use up too much spirit Kai. Yimo used 3 of the remaining spirit ponds. One was for cultivation and the other 2 provided spirit Kai for his 7 spirit attraction formation. This was to supply the time formation disc with spirit Kai. Yimo used 3 of the remaining spirit ponds. One was for cultivation and the other 2 provided spirit Kai for his 7 spirit attraction formation. This was to supply the time formation disc with spirit Kai with his special grade hollow spirit pill. Yimo believed he would be able to reach hollow spirit state tertiary stage after he used up 1 spirit marrow pond. Other people only formed 1 spirit Kai whirlpool but Yimo formed 8. The spirit Kai whirlpool formed like a mist. Yimo was inside the time formation disc and as the time formation disc spun, people outside couldn't see anything at all. 2 months passed, Lin Yiben woke up from cultivation first. He found, to his surprise and joy, that he was body condensation state level 8. He looked at the spirit marrow pond, he had only used about 1/5. Less than 1/5 brought him to body condensation state level 8, clearly, this spirit marrow was top grade spirit marrow. He subconsciously looked at everyone else. Gan Liang made the most progress, he was nascent soul state level 7. His wife Shu Tong was body condensation state level 6. Yimo's 2 wives were nascent soul state level 3, his sister golden core state level 8. Luo Fei and Xin Jida were golden core state level 1. Clearly, they already formed their core during this time. It was only Yimo he couldn't see clearly. He just knew that there was a formation spinning around him and it made him dizzy just by looking at it. He quickly moved his gaze away thinking in shock, what formation is this? When he saw that Yimo set up formations on the other 2 spirit marrow ponds, he was shocked. Each of those ponds had lost 1/3 of the spirit marrow. Including the spirit pond Yimo used, Lin Yiben didn't dare to keep thinking. Why was his new city lord this terrifying at cultivation? He needed 3 spirit marrow ponds and used up so much. Were the other 2 ponds to provide spirit marrow for his formation? What formation needed such amount of spirit Kai? Yimo didn't know how long it had been outside but he knew he had cultivated for 2 years. His power was hollow spirit state level 7 peak stage and was about to break through to level 8, but he had no intentions of stopping. As long as his spirit marrow pond wasn't empty, he wasn't going to stop. 2 more months passed outside, Yimo suddenly got up and stopped cultivating. He had been cultivating for 4 whole years in the time formation disc. He was now hollow spirit state peak stage power. Yimo knew he couldn't keep cultivating now. He needed to spend some time to familiarize himself with hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivation essence and then find a place for his divine damnation. When Yimo put away the formation and got out, he saw that Tang Beiwei had stopped already. Everyone else was very fast but Yimo found that other than his spirit marrow pond almost drying up, everyone else's spirit marrow ponds seemed full. Only Lin Yiben lost about 40%. Lin Yiben was body condensation state level 8 peak. Brother, you're done too? Tang Beiwei saw Yimo come out and called out in joy. She was bored. Yimo could tell she was able to cultivate, she was golden core state peak stage. About to form nascent soul. Yimo found it was right to come in here. Luo Ying was nascent soul state level 4, Ning Qingxue was nascent soul state level 3, everyone else also progressed. How long have you been cultivating? Yimo thought of the time formation disc and asked. Tang Beiwei said in confusion, for months, Brother, you don't know how long you've been cultivating? By the way, what formation are you using to cultivate? I don't even dare to look at it, I feel dizzy just staring at it. So his time formation disk had reached 12 times acceleration using the spirit marrow pond. This was too shocking. Yimo didn't explain this to Tang Beiwei. It wasn't easy to explain. He brought Tang Beiwei to the side of the palace and set up a few more formations to let her form her nascent soul state. Everyone was in cultivation now, and Yimo didn't want her divine damnation to affect everyone. Tang Beiwei's talent was better than Ning Qingxue, but she reached nascent soul state first only because of Yimo. Brother, what power are you? Tang Beiwei asked after her divine damnation. Yimo took out tens of bottles of pills and gave them to Tang Beiwei. I'm hollow spirit state peak stage, I need to find a place for divine damnation. These pills are labeled, just give them to everyone, I won't go very far. Tang Beiwei took the pills and asked, Brother, there's a palace here, where can you go for divine damnation? Can't you do it here? Yimo said adamantly, No, don't worry about me, I have a place to go. If anything happens, contact me through this communication bead. Yimo found this place due to the gurgling sound, but he didn't hear it here, so Yimo believed this wasn't the place he was looking for. His hollow spirit state divine damnation caused the swamp to collapse. What if he collapsed this area with his body condensation state divine damnation? He had the golden page world, but other people didn't. Tang Beiwei didn't want her brother to leave, but she didn't say anything. She could empathize with her brother, he didn't say anything, but no one could feel how bad he felt. She knew from Xin Jida how much he respected Ji Ling. So she could understand him desperately trying to improve his power. After Tang Beiwei started cultivation again, Yimo looked at the remaining 4 spirit marrow ponds. They probably wouldn't be using them, so he moved them into his golden page world and collected the spirit crystals. Yimo's power was many times stronger than before, and he soon heard the gurgling sound again. It had no rhythm but was in the palace. It sounded clearer in here than outside. Another stealth formation, Yimo murmured speechlessly. This formation master seemed to love this, all sorts of formations and stealth. Yimo threw out formation flags and soon saw a small door. After going inside, Yimo collected the formation flags before looking at the scene. There was a 9 zigzag walkway in front of him, with was a yard outside the walkway. The spirit herbs in the yard had died, but the spirit kai was extremely dense. At the end of the walkway was a half-closed wooden door. Yimo felt this door and was shocked. It had been countless years and this wooden door was still fine. Clearly, the wood was of extremely high quality. Yimo really wanted to take this door and see if it could be used for forgery, but he thought about it and didn't. There were many good things here. If he was even going to take the door, then it was a bit too much. The room he walked into was spacious. It was very old, but nothing inside was broken. Clearly, all the things in here were very valuable, whether it was the decorations or furniture. But Yimo wasn't interested in these things. These were useless to him and he didn't like putting other people's things in his place. The place he lived with his wives should only have things he personally made. Yimo followed the sound and opened another door. A pink world appeared before his eyes. There was another spirit marrow pond here, and on the stone wall above the spirit marrow pond, there was a fountain. What came out was dense to the extreme spirit marrow. It made some gurgling sounds as it fell inside the spirit marrow pond. It was higher level than the spirit marrow pond outside. This was clearly a place for women to shower. There was an extremely pretty spirit glass and there were a few lingerie hung by the side of the mirror. It was clearly made with very expensive material, but Yimo didn't have that fetish of taking women's underwear. He could even imagine an extremely pretty woman washing in here. He wondered what powerful being lived here. He wanted to know if the spirit-eating bugs were kept by the owner of this place, then who froze those maids? Yimo sighed. He didn't know what happened here, but from the looks of it, there was a woman taking a bath here when the incident occurred. Either the woman ran out before having the time to wear her clothes or she was dragged out. Yimo sighed. He didn't know what happened here, but from the looks of it, there was a woman taking a bath here when the incident occurred. Either the woman ran out before having the time to wear her clothes or she was dragged out. No matter what, Letting a woman run out without clothes was tragic. Emo didn't touch this place, not even the extremely dense spirit marrow pond. The pity was he couldn't scan his spirit sense into the rooms, so he had to check one by one. One could see how powerful the being who lived here was. Those weren't even formations but simple spirit sense limiting restrictions. He left this room and went into the room next door. He opened the door and the scene shocked him even more. A middle-aged man wearing extremely luxurious clothes sat alone on the seat. There was an exquisite tea table before him with some pretty tea tools. What shocked him the most was that one of the man's hands pierced his head from the top. The coagulated blood still stood on the man's face. From his eyes, he could see despair and sadness. Clearly, this man was the owner of this place. Emo didn't expect the owner of this place to have killed himself. He knew there was a great enemy who came here. The owner either fought the enemy and was killed or ran. But instead, he killed himself in despair. What made him so sad? Emo shook his head. He didn't want to think. It was a tragic story, something that might be unacceptable. Otherwise, how could so many maids die and even the owner have committed suicide? There was no ring on this man's finger. It was probably taken away. He didn't come here to guess the sad story. He came here to find cultivation resources. Since there were none, there was no point for him to stay here. Just when he wanted to exit the room and prepare for his divine damnation in the yard, he found that there were spirit power waves in one corner of the room. There's another formation. Emo walked over quickly and threw out a few formation flags. Indeed, a formation appeared before him. It was an extremely small hidden teleportation formation. It was probably way too old and that's why it leaked some spirit power waves. Emo looked around and eventually got on this teleportation formation. He put 2 spirit stones on the ring and the teleportation formation activated in a white light. Emo disappeared from this room. A bone-chilling feeling came. Emo found he was completely in an icy snow world. He just walked out of the teleportation formation and could hear his bones cracking. Emo quickly used cultivation essence to cover himself. Such a cold place, if a nascent soul state cultivator came here, perhaps he would have frozen to death immediately. This place was countless times colder than the outskirts of Ice God Forbidden Grounds. In a brief moment, Emo felt the cold more irresistible, so he released the octagonal cauldron. The octagonal cauldron started spinning above his head, covering him. Only then did Emo feel better. Was this the real Ice God Forbidden Grounds? He was Hollow Spirit State peak stage and had the octagonal cauldron but was still having such a hard time. If it was some ordinary Hollow Spirit State or even body condensation state, they probably wouldn't be able to take it. Emo scanned with spirit sense and noticed something different. There were ice shards, mountains, and snow everywhere, but there was also a green tree. Emo quickly walked over. He noticed that the closer he got the less cold he felt. Eventually, he put away the octagonal cauldron. When he walked to the green tree, a woman that defined extreme beauty stared at him. He subconsciously took a step back and saluted with his fists awkwardly. "I'm Emo, I came here by accident, sorry for disturbing Qian Bei." Emo felt it was really weird. When he scanned his spirit sense here, he only saw the tree but not this woman. He had never seen a woman this beautiful. Her beauty was too vibrant to gaze at. There were no words that could describe her beauty. Emo soon noticed that this woman was still staring at him. Her eyes didn't move at all. Emo realized this woman had been dead for countless years. Without this tree, perhaps she would be a frozen statue like the maids. Emo felt a little sad actually. He quickly gave himself a few mind-clearing spells and left. This green tree was definitely an extraordinary spirit item to be able to remain evergreen in this place, but he didn't know what it was. Emo actually didn't think about taking the tree away nor facing his divine damnation. He was subconsciously thinking that if he took away this tree, this extremely pretty woman would immediately turn into ice shards. He really couldn't bear allowing such beauty to turn into ice shards. This wasn't love, just a simple admiration of beauty. He believed that no matter how good this tree was, it couldn't compare with his bitter bamboo. Bitter bamboo was one of the 10 great spirit items. Emo subconsciously wanted to leave and find another place for divine damnation. But after walking out a few meters, he heard a voice full of despair say, "Take me away, take me away. Yi Mo was shook. He scanned his spirit sense with full power, but there was nothing. His spirit sense noticed this beautiful woman again. She had clearly been dead for a long time. There were 2 strands of tears on her pale face. Did he hear wrong? He took a few steps back and that call sounded by his ear again. Now, Yi Mo was sure that it was this dead woman who called him. To be able to do this woman must have used a secret technique to keep a message before she died. This was the automatic call when an outsider had been detected. It was hard for Yi Mo. It wasn't that he wasn't willing to take her away, but he didn't know where to bring her to. He couldn't keep her in the Golden Page world. He already had enough women in there. Yi Mo subconsciously shivered. He really didn't want to take her into his Golden Page called. Suddenly, he saw there was a small jade slip on her head. Yi Mo took it and looked at it. Blue bead is my world. Please give blue bead to the Ice God Palace. Qing Yu will forever be grateful. Yi Mo didn't understand. What was the blue bead? He had never seen it, and where was Ice God Palace? Just when Yi Mo was still confused, the green tree started wobbling. Yi Mo rubbed his eyes. He thought he saw wrong, but the tree was indeed moving. Instantly, the tree turned into a blue bead and that woman disappeared into the bead. Yi Mo looked dazedly at the blue bead for a long time, realizing now that this blue bead was like his Golden Page world, a small world. Yi Mo scanned this bead, but his spirit sense couldn't go in at all. Helplessly, Yi Mo could only pick it up and throw it into his Golden Page world. He didn't know why this Qing Yu trusted him so much. How could ordinary people expose their small world in front of someone? A small world was very rare, anyone would want it. Perhaps only I wouldn't care. Yi Mo shook his head. He liked his Golden Page world. He felt it was the best small world. He even felt that the Golden Page world was far more than just a small world. This woman probably had no choice. Yi Mo believed that if she had a choice she would never let someone take her small world. Looking at the jade slip, Yi Mo thought he would only think about it after he learned about the Ice God Palace. There was no way he was going to look for it. He had too many things to do. He would have this divine damnation here. Yi Mo looked around and found that the spirit Kai was denser than other places. Perhaps due to blue bead, it wasn't as cold as everywhere else. He would have this divine damnation here. Yi Mo looked around and found that the spirit Kai was denser than other places. Perhaps due to blue bead, it wasn't as cold as everywhere else. When he reached hollow spirit state, his lightning storage formation had exploded. Now that he had experience, he set up 7 lightning storage formations and 1 lightning direction formation. He didn't believe 7 of these couldn't hold the lightning power of the divine damnation. When Yi Mo set up the spirit gathering formation with spirit crystals, this place was immediately enveloped with dense spirit Kai mist. Yi Mo was very clear that this wasn't something the spirit gathering formation could create. The only explanation was that there was a spirit range here. Thinking about this, Yi Mo rejoiced. He was lacking spirit ranges. This place had so many spirit marrow ponds and spirit Kai due to the spirit range, no wonder. But he needed to face his divine damnation now. Once he finished, he would dig the spirit range away. He didn't touch the female bathing pond, but he wasn't going to be polite with the spirit range. After eating a break spirit pill, Yi Mo released his octagonal cauldron to spin above his head while using 3-birth chant. Half a day later, Yi Mo's cultivation essence gathered quickly, trying to find a breaking point. His cultivation essence had reached a yardstick. Suddenly, it grew dark above his head. Instantly, tens of lightning arcs the size of grown men's arms rained down. Yi Mo didn't mind. He hacked out with Zishu. Asterisk crack crack asterisk. This round of 36 lightning arcs didn't even touch Yi Mo's shadow and were blocked by Yi Mo's octagonal cauldron. Zishu was useless. Yi Mo suddenly felt unhappy. His power had increased too rapidly, and although that divine damnation was powerful, it didn't bring him any benefits. Thinking about this, he put his octagonal cauldron away. It wouldn't feel good at all if the octagonal cauldron blocked all the divine damnation. Just when Yi Mo put the octagonal cauldron away, it began to rumble. 36 more arcs rained down that were even thicker than the ones before. Zishu hacked out quickly and countless purple sword rays clashed with the lightning arcs, creating lightning sparks. It was very vibrant and pretty. The remaining 20 or so arcs all hit Yimo. In a brief moment, Yimo's clothes and armor were all destroyed, but Yimo wasn't shocked at all. Hollow Spirit State Peak Stage and Nascent Soul State Peak Stage, the difference was tens of times greater, and yet the Divine Damnation was only a few times stronger than last time. Yimo's power increased faster. Crack lightning arcs hit Yimo's body and made cracking sounds on his bones. His flesh flew off and a burning smell came. However, Yimo was more excited. He finally felt the benefits of taking the Divine Damnation head-on. He refined lightning faster and his power also increased faster. Although his skin and flesh cracked and even his bones, his body also recovered astonishingly fast as his power increased. When the second wave ended, Yimo felt his meridians crack and an extremely powerful energy come. His cultivation essence almost solidified. His essence spirit was more condensed. Yimo knew he had broken through to body condensation state. This was the first time he didn't finish his Divine Damnation and already broke through. Feeling the drastic rise in his power, Yimo grew excited. He didn't feel the cold at all and even put away Zishu, ready for the next wave. He wanted to know what his limit was. He reached body condensation state after 2 waves. He wanted to know to what extent would his power grow to if he devoured the entire Divine Damnation. If someone saw Yimo here, they would think Yimo was a madman. He was naked in this icy world, waiting to be blasted with lightning. Rumble 18 more arcs rained down. Although there were less, they were all twice as thick. Yimo didn't fear it at all, and before the lightning landed on him, he used 11 lightning swords. He was going to fight the lightning arcs. Crack the black lightning arcs Yimo used clashed with the Divine Damnation lightning. Lightning splashed everywhere and the surroundings were tattered by the clash of 2 different types of lightning arcs. Yimo's black lightning sword and the blue lightning arcs crackled and sprayed like fireworks, but if anything got splashed by the sparks, it would be destroyed without a doubt. Yimo found that the lightning sword he used was far from the power of the lightning arcs that rained down. But 3 to 4 of his swords could cripple a lightning arc. Yimo grew more excited and devoured lightning even faster. 11 lightning swords also grew faster. Yimo felt his power kept rising. Before the Divine Damnation even finished, he was body condensation state level 1 peak. The Divine Damnation seemed to be irate by Yimo and didn't stop at all. Lightning arcs rained down densely. Yimo used 3 birth chant to the extreme while he kept attacking with 11 lightning swords. As for the ones that weren't blocked, he didn't mind letting them rain down on his body. Eventually, the lightning arcs were as thick as legs. His 11 lightning swords also went up a level. 2 swords could block 1 lightning arc. Luckily no one was here. If some cultivator saw Yimo he would think this must be an illusion. This wasn't someone trying to survive Divine Damnation but a madman trying to challenge Divine Damnation. The higher cultivation level you reached, the more you must keep a state of mind. But cultivators had this fearful mentality towards Divine Damnation. Cultivators usually tried to reduce slaughter at higher cultivation levels just so the Divine Damnation wouldn't hit them as hard and reduce the heart demon pressure. There was no one who fought against Divine Damnation like Yimo. Divine Damnation had a spirit and that was right. Yimo's actions had angered the Divine Damnation. Usually, a body condensation state Divine Damnation would have already finished. But Yimo's wasn't done and instead the lightning arcs were getting thicker and denser. Yimo didn't mind it at all. He loved this feeling. His power was increasing and the Divine Damnation wasn't completely ineffective on him. He devoured lightning power faster and as he did, his 11 lightning swords grew more powerful as well. Eventually, Yimo could cripple 1 lightning arc with 1 sword. If Lightning Cloud sect cultivators saw this, they would know it wasn't even 11 lightning swords anymore as there had never been such a powerful 11 lightning swords. Crack Yimo used another lightning sword to cripple the lightning arcs. His heart expanded. He looked at the lightning sword and said, "From now on, you will be just called Lightning Sword." Yimo now knew he had an attack means on par with the Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike, and that was Lightning Sword. Yimo felt the bottleneck stopping his power being smashed open again. He was body condensation state level 2. A heart demon appeared and Yimo lost interest. It was like nothing to him. He waved a few lightning swords and the heart demon disappeared. The bitter bamboo was indeed a good thing. He had been cultivating next to bitter bamboo for so long that there wasn't even heart demon tribulation anymore. He tried it this time, so he didn't use bitter bamboo leaf, and it was no threat at all. Yimo looked up into the sky, wanting another wave of divine damnation to come, but white rainbow spirit Kai cloud fell above his head instead. Yimo devoured the spirit Kai cloud to consolidate his power, but he was disappointed. He looked at the 7 lightning storage formation he had set up and didn't expect to not even use one. Yimo had begun to understand a logic. Some things, the more scared you were, the more they would happen. The divine damnation was also something that abused the weak and feared the strong. When you were strong, it retreated. Body condensation state level 2 and lightning sword mastered, Yimo rejoiced. This was a very fulfilling trip. That powerful feeling gave him the confidence to kill any body condensation state cultivator. Yimo put away the useless formations and found that the spirit Kai here was denser. He sunk into the earth, and at around a few hundred meters deep, he found a dragon-like spirit range in front of him. Yimo put away the useless formations and found that the spirit Kai here was denser. He sunk into the earth, and at around a few hundred meters deep, he found a dragon-like spirit range in front of him. Extreme grade spirit range. Even though he hadn't seen one before, he immediately knew that this was an extreme grade spirit range. This was a spirit range even bigger than the Herb King spirit range. But Yimo's power was far greater than that of nascent soul state now. Body condensation state level 2 power. It wasn't that hard for Yimo to move an extreme grade spirit range into his golden page world. Just a few simple transmission formations, and after a rumble, the spirit range was moved away. But instantly, this place started to collapse and some ice mountains and ice shards lost their life force. Yimo dashed out of the earth and cleaned himself with a few water spells before getting a new set of clothes. He felt refreshed. Yimo scanned his spirit sense around. There was no more life force except for cold. An extreme grade spirit range, Yimo was sure that even the entire South Peace state might not have one. The Pill City was a 10-star sect, but it might be difficult for even them to take out an extreme grade spirit range. Yimo's spirit sense reached into his golden page world and found it was full of life force. Once the world laws formed, this would be his world. He could leave now. Yimo went back to the teleportation formation without hesitation. Just as Yimo guessed, the crack never closed after they were sucked in. There were now hundreds of cultivators here. But after they went in, they suffered the same fate as those body condensation state cultivators from Godwind Valley. They were surrounded by countless spirit-devouring bugs. Only a little more than 10 high-powered cultivators were struggling to survive. If we continue like this, we will die for sure. These spirit-devouring bugs are hatching more and more after devouring large amounts of cultivator essence blood, one body condensation state tertiary stage man said. He had been struggling for a few days. If there's a better way, who would want to fight with these bugs? Someone must have certainly set this up and baited us to feed the bugs, another body condensation state cultivator said. TMPH, what's the use of saying that now? I'm sure that if you went out now and didn't know what was going on inside you would still come, the body condensation state tertiary stage scorned. The other cultivator didn't rebut his statement, he knew this man was saying the truth. Those Clear Dream Mosque nuns are quite capable, they've survived till now, one cultivator said in admiration. The fat cultivator on the side said in contempt, they just have a good defense formation, without that defense formation disc, they would have been completely devoured. Fuck it, I can't take it anymore. Before I die, I'm going to taste the women of Clear Dream Mosque. A body condensation state level 1 cultivator next to the fat cultivator suddenly called out and charged out of the defense circle towards those 3 female cultivators from Clear Dream Mosque. The rest of the people dazed. Was this guy crazy? There were this many spirit-devouring bugs here, he would be devoured immediately, yet he could think of going after women? But some smart people immediately realized that this cultivator was going over more because he saw the power of the defense formation disc. Even till now, they were perfectly fine. He must have gone over to take their defense formation disc. Some cultivators who realized this all wanted to do the same, but they quickly gave up that idea. That cultivator just ran out 10 meters before he was surrounded by countless spirit-devouring bugs. Soon, the bugs fell to the ground and there was nothing left. Suddenly, the fat cultivator shrieked, "Did everyone notice? The spirit-devouring bugs' attacks are getting weaker." Everyone felt it too. They were indeed getting weaker and weaker. A few high-level cultivators used a few powerful spells and cleared the spirit-devouring bugs nearby away. More didn't flood over like before. Only a few flew over. But eerily, those flying spirit-devouring bugs fell down before they quickly withered and died. As time passed, all the spirit-devouring bugs fell down. What's going on? The cultivators looked amongst themselves. Those eggs seemed to have stopped moving as well, a cultivator said. One body condensation state cultivator used a fireball. Originally it could only kill a few hundred, but now it cleared a large area. Thousands of bugs were burned. Seeing this, everyone did the same and the dense clutter of spirit-devouring bugs was cleared. Spirit Kai seemed to be getting thinner as well. A lot thinner. The Spirit Kai here is no different than outside now, someone said. A cultivator flew out on his flying sword and before he fell down, everyone realized that the suction force had disappeared. The suction force isn't here anymore, we can go out, the flying cultivator said. But no one flew out. If this place was still filled with spirit-devouring bugs, they would run out as quickly as possible. But now that there was no danger, there must be something good down here since there was the dense Spirit Kai before. I understand, the body condensation state tertiary stage said. What's going on, brother Gang? Someone asked. He pointed on the ground and said, these hatched spirit-devouring bugs need large amounts of Spirit Kai to evolve. Only then would they mature. Now that the Spirit Kai is suddenly gone, they've lost their basis for survival. Their death is thus unavoidable. Only after they mature would they be able to survive in places with low Spirit Kai. Brother Gang, didn't you say these spirit bugs are being kept by someone? Would that person not know the Spirit Kai would suddenly disappear here? Someone asked. Brother Gang shook his head. I don't know as well. I know, a coarse voice suddenly sounded. Brother Gang saluted with his fists. So it's Heaven Yang Sect's Yi Jing Grand Master, please explain to us Brother Yi. Yi Jing was body condensation state level 1 but he was a level 7 formation Grand Master. He had decent status in the cultivation realm. He pointed above. When we came here there was suction but there isn't any now. There's clearly a formation here and the formation just sent us inside. The formation lost the spirit power to run so the suction force disappeared too. He looked around. Usually, the person who set up the formation wouldn't miscalculate the spirit power. Thus, the only possibility is that someone came here first and took the spirit power source. What? We came here arduously and fought with the spirit-devouring bugs for so long and so many people died, but that guy just simply took it away, that fat man called out unhappily. He was body condensation state peak stage, so no one dared to talk. Clear Dream Mosque Ching Han sneered, if that's the case you should thank him or you would have become the spirit-devouring bugs food. What did you say? That fat cultivator suddenly asked coldly. I said you're a wolf who forgets the people who show you gratitude, so what? Ching Han retorted. This fat cultivator didn't argue and turned his green face away. Clearly, he was scared of Clear Dream Mosque. That fat cultivator was from the 7-star sect Eternity Sea. They were at the top of 7-star sects and were almost on par with ordinary 8-star sects, but they were nothing compared to Clear Dream Mosque. Just one truth realization state cultivator was enough to annihilate Eternity Sea. That fat cultivator was from the 7-star sect Eternity Sea. They were at the top of 7-star sects and were almost on par with ordinary 8-star sects, but they were nothing compared to Clear Dream Mosque. Just one truth realization state cultivator was enough to annihilate Eternity Sea. Formation. One body condensation state peak stage cultivator stared not far into the distance and called out. Everyone looked towards there and to their surprise, a stealth formation gradually showed. When the formation was completely revealed, almost everyone went up to it. This is a stealth formation, how come it doesn't have any stealth effects? A hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivator asked. Someone immediately said, Grand Master Yi already said that the spirit source was taken away. Without the spirit source, these formations would show of course. Perhaps the person who set up the formations didn't expect that his high-level stealth formation was no different than an ordinary formation after the spirit source was taken away. Such an advanced formation. Yi Jing looked at the formation and gasped. He had never seen such a formation. It was indeed very advanced. Grand Master Yi, how do we go in here? The body condensation state peak stage asked. Yi Jing greets God Wind Valley's martial brother Hu Jiming. This formation means is very advanced, I need to look again. This formation is mainly for stealth but it's also defensive and has reached level 8. We can't forcefully open it, Yi Jing said. He didn't dare to offend God Wind Valley. Hu Jiming nodded and stood on the side. Only Hu Jiming and that fat man were body condensation state peak stage. The rest were weaker. Everyone else moved to the side after seeing Hu Jiming do so. Yi Jing started to study this formation. A day later, Yi Jing didn't make any progress. Hu Jiming was getting impatient and asked, how about we attack this formation together? Hu Jiming's words immediately got everyone's approval. Hu Jiming was the first to release his magic artifact, but as soon as his magic artifact touched that formation, the formation broke open. Everyone was dazed. Yi Jing was a formation grandmaster, and since he said that the formation couldn't be forced open, it really should be so. However, Hu Jiming just attacked casually and the formation broke. This meant that this formation was at most a level 4 defense formation. Ha ha! Hu Jiming laughed and went inside, the rest of the people followed. Yi Jing's face turned red, he realized that since the stealth formation lost spirit source so did the defense formation. Luckily no one scorned at him and he felt better. He followed behind everyone, not daring to make any claims. Soon, they saw the scene Yi Mo had seen before and a few female cultivators screamed in shock. This is just like the outskirts, one cultivator said. People were guessing but more were looking around for treasure. The entrance is here. Soon, someone found the stealth formation Yi Mo went in. It had been completely revealed now. Everyone went in the stealth formation and a crescent moon door appeared before them. Another defense formation, another level 7 defense formation, Yi Jing said. But this defense formation had a spirit source. Everyone ignored him after the joke before. His status had declined greatly. An Eternity Sea nascent soul state cultivator released a flying sword at the formation. With a thud, the flying sword and the formation clashed, but what everyone didn't expect was that a dark ray shot out of the formation and quickly pierced that nascent soul state cultivator's dantian. The nascent soul state cultivator immediately spat blood and an extremely small nascent soul popped out from his head. Clearly that nascent soul state cultivator wasn't able to live, but it was very rare that a nascent soul could escape out. That fat Eternity Sea cultivator grunted and threw a fireball over. The worried nascent soul immediately disappeared. Everyone was shook, this fatty was too cruel. He even killed his own sect's nascent soul state WN Bay. Everyone knew that the fat man was annoyed at this WN Bay attacking without his consent, but this punishment was too cruel. But no one would care about the death of a nascent soul state cultivator. This defense formation can attack as well, and it's still effective, Hu Jiming said and looked at Yi Jing before saluted with his fists. Grand Master Yi, would you be able to break this formation for us as quickly as possible? Yi Jing was uncomfortable but he didn't dare to be arrogant. He nodded. This formation was much simpler than the ones outside and although he had never seen this type, he should be able to break it. Lin Yiban, who had just reached body condensation state level 9, immediately noticed that formation being attacked and scanned with his spirit sense. People couldn't scan their spirit sense inside but he could scan his spirit sense out. When he saw more than 10 cultivators outside, he was shook. There were 2 body condensation state peak stage and 2 body condensation state level 9s. Meanwhile, he was the only body condensation state level 9 and his wife was only body condensation state level 7. The rest were nascent soul state or golden core state. With a rumble, the formation was attacked again. This time, even Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying and them heard. Everyone stopped cultivation and stood up, watching the defense formation. Brother said he went to divine damnation. I'll send a message to him, he should be back soon, Tang Beiwei quickly said. Shu Tong was shaken. Wasn't City Lord only Hollow Spirit State Level 1, even if he broke through here, he can't be having divine damnation this quickly? Shu Tong couldn't be blamed, no matter how talented you were, you wouldn't be able to reach Hollow Spirit State peak stage in 4 months. Even the best genius would take at least 4 years. Even Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue were shook. Rumble before they could react, the defense formation was broken. There are people inside. The cultivators immediately saw Lin Yiban and them. Wait, there are so many spirit marrow ponds here, such dense spirit kai, people immediately noticed. 7 are dry, and 2 are about half full, the people immediately said. Lin Yiban said heavily, we found them first. So what? You've been cultivating here for so long, you can move aside and let everyone share the goods, Hu Jiming said. Lin Yiban clenched his fists but couldn't do anything. He was no match for them. That's Ning Qingxue, ethereal immortal Pond's core disciple, Yimo's wife. If Ning Qingxue is here, Yimo must be here too. One Hollow Spirit State cultivator recognized Ning Qingxue and remembered the bounty Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect put out. Haha, so you're Ning Qingxue, then it must be Luo Susu and Tang Beiwei next to you? Great, the Infinity Sect is hunting Yimo. I, Pu Cheng, will take your spirit marrow pond, that fat cultivator said. How dare you? Luo Ying and Tang Beiwei immediately stood by Ning Qingxue's side. Before I didn't dare to, but you're no longer Black Ice Sect members, Black Ice Sect has kicked you out. Pu Cheng smiled. Suddenly a cold voice said, Pu, with which ear did you hear that Infinity Sect was hunting Yimo? How come I didn't hear it? Do you dare to be responsible for your words? Suddenly a cold voice said, Pu, with which ear did you hear that Infinity Sect was hunting Yimo? How come I didn't hear it? Do you dare to be responsible for your words? Pu Cheng heard this and was shook. Just when he wanted to rage, he saw it was the nuns of Clear Dream Mosque. His face grew bad. If there weren't so many people here, he would have annihilated them already. Their strongest was only Hollow Spirit State Tertiary Stage. How dare she mock him again and again? Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect indeed made a notice, but could he say that? This was a secret message to the sects they were close to. Report to them news of Yimo as soon as they got it and they would be heavily rewarded. The Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect were set on killing Yimo. They'd been secretly hunting him and yet Pill City made no moves. Black Ice Sect's Disaster Transformation State Elder was killed, but they could only suck it up, clearly fearing the joined forces of Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect. He was too excited when he realized Yimo was here and accidentally said it. He glared at the cultivator who recognized Ning Qingxue. This guy just said Yimo was here. He must have thought of reporting Yimo's location to get benefits, but this guy was calmer than him and didn't say Yimo was on a wanted list. Thinking that this guy made him spill his mouth, Pu Cheng had killing intent towards this Hollow Spirit State cultivator. Everyone knew that Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect were secretly hunting Yimo, but this couldn't be brought to the surface. Clear Dream Mosque Martial Sister, you're thinking too much. Pu Cheng was just guessing. He didn't say that Infinity Sect was hunting Yimo, Hu Jiming suddenly said calmly. Hearing this, Pu Cheng immediately rejoiced. Eternity Sea Sect was scared of Clear Dream Mosque but Godwind Valley wasn't. He immediately saluted with his fists. Thank you Brother Hu for saying words of justice, I was indeed just guessing. Hu Jiming smiled and reached out his hand. Brother Pu, your body condensation state peak stage now, you can do whatever you want. Pu Cheng smiled and didn't hesitate anymore. He reached out and grabbed towards Ning Qingxue while saying, I'll take this spirit marrow pond, haha. Everyone shook their heads. This fat man was clearly being used by Hu Jiming but didn't know it at all. Qing Han still wanted to say something but was stopped by a nun. Clearly, they knew that others wouldn't be scared of them three. The strongest of them was only hollow spirit state tertiary stage. That really was nothing here. Thud cultivation essence exploded, and before Pu Cheng's hand touched Ning Qingxue, he was struck back by Lin Yiban, retreating tens of steps. Lin Yiban was preparing on the side while Pu Cheng was unexpecting. You're asking to die. Pu Cheng reached out with his hand and pulled out a pair of daggers. They had a powerful temperament. Clearly it was a middle-grade cultivation artifact. Lin Yiban's face was serious as he pulled out a spear. This was his magic artifact, a low-grade cultivation artifact. Brother still isn't back. Tang Beiwei was worried. Yi Mo just wanted to put 2 spirit stones on the teleportation formation, but found that the space he had his divine damnation at was strange. Life force was gone here. He pulled out the spirit range, but there was one place that was still the same. A few thousand meters away on an ice peak, that peak didn't seem to lose life force. Instead, there was an icy flower-like thing there. Yi Mo immediately dashed over. Ice carrot. Yi Mo immediately recognized this flower. It was the level 9 spirit herb ice carrot, one that was mature. Ice carrot was the main ingredient for heaven grade level 9 pill truth carrot pill. It was the pill needed for disaster transformation states to reach truth realization state, but was much more precious than truth spirit pill. The main reason was that the spirit herbs for truth spirit pill, truth spirit grass, could be grown, but the ice carrot was very rare and couldn't be grown. It could increase the chance of reaching truth realization state by 40%, twice that of truth spirit pill. Other than this, the ice carrot also had another important function, to cure poison, even poison in the essence spirit. Without hesitation, Yi Mo dug it up and put it in a jade box before putting it on the Herb King spirit range. There was still dense spirit Kai down there. Yi Mo immediately knew there was another spirit source here too. Perhaps it was a small spirit range. Yi Mo almost had an obsession. He had to take it if he saw it. He used an earth mobility spell to search for the source of spirit Kai. A day later, when he felt he was nearing the spirit source, there was a sudden message from the communication bead. Tang Beiwei knew he was doing divine damnation. She wouldn't message him if there wasn't some urgent situation. Yi Mo couldn't care about this spirit source anymore and immediately dashed out. No treasure was more important than their safety. You overestimate yourself. Pu Cheng looked at Lin Yiban, who had his Dan Tian broken by him, and smirked as he wiped the blood from his mouth. Yiban. Shu Tong rushed over. Haha, brother Pu, good job. Hu Jiming clapped his hand in approval. He then looked at the remaining spirit marrow ponds and said, there are 7 whole spirit marrow ponds here, and 2 half full. I'll take 2. Pu Cheng glanced at Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying and said, I'll take both these 2 women and their spirit marrow ponds. I'll take 1 too, a body condensation state level 9 said. The rest of the people were hesitating as these spirit marrow ponds didn't belong to ordinary people. They belonged to level 7 pill King Yi Mo. Yi Mo wasn't here, so who knew if he would die? If he didn't die, what would happen if they used his spirit marrow pond? Just when they were hesitating, a cold voice sounded, this spirit marrow pond is mine, I won't give it. What are you going to do? Brother. Tang Beiwei heard this voice and knew her brother was back. Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying and them all came by Yi Mo's side. Although they knew Yi Mo was no match for them, him coming back still gave them a sense of security. Brother Yi, Brother Lin's Dan Tian was destroyed, Luo Fei said sadly. Yi Mo looked at the despairing Shu Tong and said, don't worry Sister Shu, I'm a level 7 pill king, this is nothing. Shu Tong immediately rejoiced. Yi Mo was a level 7 pill king, perhaps he could recover Lin Yiban's Dan Tian. Suddenly, Pu Cheng laughed. Other people are afraid of you, but I'm not. I'm going to kill you here today, what are you going to do? Can a dead person protect his wives? Yi, I've long wanted to kill you. Our sect member Wu Yu died to you, right? Today you can pay back for his life. Then, his daggers made a creaking sound. Yi Mo scanned the people and said coldly, whoever else wants my spirit marrow pond, stand out. If you still stand with these pigs, then don't blame me. Yi Mo's sudden appearance made some cultivators retreat. Although Yi Mo's power wasn't high, he was Pill City's city lord and a level 7 pill king. The Pill City lords weren't here, so they didn't do anything about what happened to Yi Mo, but who knew what would happen after they came back? You're Ning Xiaoma? Qing Han asked joyfully. Yi Mo nodded and smiled. Yes, martial sister Qing Han. Are Qing Yi and Qing Yu and them fine? It really is martial brother Xiaoma, it's great to see you. Qing Han immediately said, they're very well, they often talk about you, and so does Elder Shan. Then, Qing Han said to the two nuns, martial sister, let's go to martial brother Xiaoma's side, he saved us before. The martial sister of Clear Dream Mosque said respectfully to Yi Mo, so City Lord Yi really is here, the spirit marrow ponds belong to Pill King Yi. We of Clear Dream Mosque won't take it. Then, she pulled her two martial sisters and left the crowd, but didn't go to Yi Mo's side. They stood on another side. Clearly they didn't want to be enemies of Yi Mo but didn't want to be enemies of Hu Jiming either. Seeing that Qing Han wanted to say something, the other martial sister from Clear Dream Mosque quickly stopped her. Yi Mo smiled and didn't mind. It was already beyond his anticipation that Clear Dream Mosque would stand on the side. He wouldn't expect Clear Dream Mosque to come die with him now. Seeing that Qing Han wanted to say something, the other martial sister from Clear Dream Mosque quickly stopped her. Yi Mo smiled and didn't mind. It was already beyond his anticipation that Clear Dream Mosque would stand on the side. He wouldn't expect Clear Dream Mosque to come die with him now. His side only had a body condensation state level 9 and his Dan Tian was destroyed. Yi Mo didn't look at them and instead said to the remaining people, this means you all want to rob my spirit marrow ponds? That's right, we want it, but it's not robbing. Everyone found these spirit marrow ponds, anyone can take them, Hu Jiming said coldly. But not all cultivators were like Hu Jiming. There were 7 or 8 ordinary powered cultivators or those cultivators who didn't want to be enemies with Yi Mo who stood on the side again. They believed that even if they killed Yi Mo, they wouldn't get a share of the spirit marrow ponds and would still have to carry the blame for killing a level 7 Pill King. I'm Fusion Joy Sect's He Gang. I don't want to be enemies with Pill King Yi, but I just want a spirit marrow pond. Everyone has a share of the treasure, one body condensation state level 9 said. Heaven Yang Sect's Yi Jing looked at Yi Mo and then the spirit marrow pond. He actually saluted with his fists and left. He was body condensation state and if he didn't leave he might be able to get a share, but he left. However, the rest of the people didn't even say anything. Clearly, they believed Yi Mo would be killed by Pu Cheng. Yi Mo saw that there were 2 hollow spirit state cultivators who stood in front of him wanting the pond and sneered. He was facing 7 cultivators, 2 body condensation state peak stage, 2 body condensation state level 9, 1 body condensation state middle stage and 2 hollow spirit state power. Yi Mo felt it very strange that these people found this place. Even he used a lot of effort and his formation skills reached level 7 before barely coming in here. If everyone all came in so easily, then the person who set up the formation can go die. He must be certain that no one would be able to get here before daring to leave the spirit marrow pond here for the spirit devouring bugs to evolve. But Pu Cheng couldn't wait anymore. He pulled out his twin daggers and they instantly turned into 2 10-meter long swords, slicing at Yi Mo from 2 sides. Yi Mo felt the cultivation essence collapse brought about by that. A weaker person wouldn't be able to do anything against this, but Yi Mo didn't mind at all. He used his cultivation essence and that feeling of collapse was completely gone. If it was just this fat man, he would be confident to kill him without the octagonal cauldron. With a clank, the daggers struck the octagonal cauldron and made an ear-screeching sound. Pu Cheng was shook and subconsciously said, "You're already body condensation state power?" Yi Mo hid his power just to ambush him. Why would he answer the question? He raised his hands and 7 baby arm-sized black lightning swords shot out. Pu Cheng never expected Yi Mo to have such terrifying lightning swords. This was almost the same as divine damnation and it was very sudden. It struck him head-on and he was instantly heavily injured. His skin tore and flesh apart and even his bones showed. Wait, I give up the spirit marrow pond. Pu Cheng forcefully tried to retrieve his daggers while calling in terror. Before his daggers flew above his head, 2 more lightning swords shot down. These 2 were the size of grown men's arms. Pu Cheng grunted and was split in half by the lightning swords. Before his essence spirit could escape, Yimo's mist lotus heart fire swept out. Instantly, the person Pu Cheng no longer existed. Before everyone could react, Pu Cheng was killed. Pu Chneg was a body condensation state peak stage cultivator. Even if he underestimated Yimo, he shouldn't die that easily. Those 6 cultivators immediately reacted and wanted to retreat, but how could Yimo let them? He raised both hands and dense clutters of lightning arcs rained down. They were all black lightning arc swords. Even the divine damnation wouldn't have this dense lightning arcs, much less swords. No one dared to hold back and threw all sorts of magic artifacts at Yimo ** rumble * I give up, Pil King Yi. But no matter how those cultivators cried, Yimo didn't show any mercy. His lightning swords were created from the divine damnation. They was extremely powerful. Those 2 hollow spirit states couldn't even cry and were killed. The body condensation state middle stage cultivator wasn't much better, he just begged and was killed. The 2 body condensation state level 9 were heavily injured and their cultivation essence was dissipating. This was different than divine damnation. After being injured by the divine damnation, your power would increase, but after being injured by Yimo's lightning sword, their cultivation essence would cripple. Before they could do anything, Zishu hacked out, bringing out a bloody mist. Yimo wasn't going to give them any time to breathe. If he did and they joined together to fight him, it wouldn't be that easy to kill them all. In less than half a minute, Yimo killed 6 cultivators and their attacks were all blocked by the octagonal cauldron. When the dense lightning arcs stopped, there was only Hu Jiming left in front of Yimo. He was like a demon now, his body was burnt dark and bloody. His hair was like messy hay. Yimo didn't use more lightning swords, that wave used up almost all his cultivation essence. He ate a few life force pills to recover his cultivation essence. Although the pill was too low grade for him now, it was better than nothing. In that brief moment of silence, Hu Jiming also woke up. He stared at Yimo in shock, he even suspected whether he was dreaming. He saw Yimo's cultivation level now, it was body condensation state primary stage, not even middle stage. A body condensation state primary stage cultivator was this powerful. Was this even allowed? But then, he thought about how Yimo killed Hollow Spirit State tertiary stage at Black Ice Sect as Hollow Spirit State level 1. That was probably true. A Hollow Spirit State level 1 reached body condensation state level 2 in such a short time and his power was this absurd. He wasn't that strong in body condensation state peak stage, but he was not bad. However, he couldn't even defend against those lightning arcs. Those who chose not to be enemies of Yimo rejoiced at their decision. This Pil King Yi was too absurd, even a body condensation state peak stage wouldn't be able to kill this many body condensation state tertiary stages in such a short time. On top of that, he was also a lightning spirit root. This was too shocking. A lightning spirit root Pil King was unheard of. How rare was the lightning spirit root? Who would use that for pill concoction? No one dared to talk right now as they knew how easy it would be for Yimo to kill them. Yimo was also shocked. His lightning sword was too strong. If his cultivation essence and spirit sense could keep up, it was a strong AoE ability. Yimo clutched Zishu and walked slowly towards Hu Jiming. Don't come over. Hu Jiming clearly hadn't completely woke up from the shock and said such useless words. But he immediately reacted and put away the flying sword above his head. Pil King Yi, it was my mistake before. I retreat, I'm cultivator from Godwind Valley, you can't kill me. Yimo stopped, and seeing this, Hu Jiming finally breathed easy. Pil King Yi, our sect sent a cauldron-filling state elder to protect you before, our relations are very good. It's my impulse today, please forgive me. I will pay back double the price, until Pil King Yi is satisfied. Yimo sneered, is Godwind Valley very powerful? I'm the Pil City's city lord, I don't see myself very privileged. You're just an ordinary cultivator from Godwind Valley. I even killed Infinity Sects Yuan Guanan and Ming Wujian and Lightning Cloud Sects Tian Alfeng. So what if I kill an insect from the Godwind Valley? Hu Jiming was dazed. He thought that Yimo slaughtered in his fury, and now that he calmed down, why wouldn't he let him go? But suddenly, an extremely vibrant purple ray came above his head. Hu Jiming was scared shitless. He had heard of Yimo's purple ray and even sneered at Tai Baifei of Infinity Sect. No matter how powerful it was just a sword technique, and Tai Baifei was many levels higher than Yimo. Yet he couldn't even dodge a strike. How useless was he? Hu Jiming was scared shitless. He had heard of Yimo's purple ray and even sneered at Tai Baifei of Infinity Sect. No matter how powerful it was just a sword technique, and Tai Baifei was many levels higher than Yimo. Yet he couldn't even dodge a strike. How useless was he? But now, he fully understood how powerful Yimo's strike was. This strike almost carried his mind away. Luckily, his power was much higher than Yimo, and despite being injured by the lightning arcs, he wasn't completely immersed in that purple ray. He reacted and hurriedly tried to release his flying sword to block it. But that instant, he wasn't just disappointed, he felt despair. He felt his flying sword was slow, very slow. This was a domain. This was definitely a domain. Hu Jiming came from a 9-star sect and he had knowledge. Domain was a high-level cultivator's power. It definitely wasn't something a body condensation state cultivator could control. Even prodigies could barely sense domains after cauldron filling state. Usually, it was truth realization state cultivators who mastered domains. There were a few disaster transformation state cultivators who understood domain much greater than people of the same state. This strike made him feel that he had stepped foot in Yimo's domain. In this domain he couldn't control anything. The fear of death spread, and he knew that if this continued, he would die for sure. Hu Jiming didn't dare to hold back anymore. He spat a few mouthfuls of essence blood and used a rune. His flying sword sped up instantly and barely blocked the purple ray. With a clank, Hu Jiming spat blood again and found his hand had disappeared. He didn't dare to stay anymore and turned to run. When almost everyone thought Yimo would chase out and kill him, Yimo stopped and even closed his eyes. Shu Tong was watching Yimo constantly. When he exerted his dominance, Shu Tong finally felt assured. But in that most crucial moment, he let Hu Jiming run and instead closed his eyes. Shu Tong immediately knew what was going on. Yimo probably gained sudden enlightenment in the fight, and so she released her flying sword without hesitation and attacked Hu Jiming. Hu Jiming was like a dog without home right now. He had never seen someone have a domain in body condensation state, so he just wanted to run as far away as possible. He finally woke up again when Shu Tong's flying sword caught up to his head, but then his mind sunk into an eternal void. His essence spirit was also killed by Shu Tong's flying sword. The hall was very silent and only Yimo stood there with his eyes closed. Yimo indeed felt this extremely abstruse thing, and so despite knowing Hu Jiming was running away, he still didn't move. He was scared that feeling would immediately disappear. When he used that strike, he felt he was the ruler of the heavens and earth. It was as though the surrounding space became his as he used Zishu. In this region of space he could do whatever he wanted. He was the ruler, he was the controller. He didn't understand domains, but in that instant, he felt if his strike was perfected it would become very significant. After a long while, he nodded to Shu Tong. He felt pity that there was no powerful opponent here. If there was, he would be able to unleash himself in battle and further strengthen that enlightenment. Xiaoma. Pil King Yi. Qinghan walked over. She wanted to call martial brother Xiaoma, but his power and status was far from what she could compare. Yimo smiled. Martial sister Qinghan, just call me martial brother Xiaoma. Friendship won't change due to time and power. Xiaoma will always be that Xiaoma, not someone else. Qinghan, don't be rude. A martial sister from Clear Dream Mosque reproached and bowed to Yimo. We didn't expect to see Pil King Yi here. Congratulations on powering up. Yimo nodded and didn't say anything. He turned to Qinghan and said, there are 9 spirit marrow ponds here. You guys can take 2. Please send one to martial sister Ling Xiaoshuang for me. Martial brother Xiaoma, you and martial sister Xiaoshuang. Qinghan said. Martial sister Xiaoshuang didn't seem to be happy with martial brother Xiaoma at the Truthful Palace. Yimo shook his head. I'm not close with her, but I'm close to her master Shan Qianbei. Yimo didn't explain it. He had agreed to give Ling Xiaoshuang some spirit marrow. He knew that Shan Bingfeng didn't mean the top-grade spirit marrow here, but he found this due to her suggestion. Sister Shu Tong. Collect the spirit marrow ponds you and brother Lin cultivated in. Then Yimo turned to the 8 cultivators who retreated and said, "Since you've encountered this place, everyone has an opportunity. You guys can have 1 spirit marrow pond, you 8 can split it." No one would dare to say anything even if Yimo didn't give any away, but now that Yimo said this, they all charged at the spirit marrow pond Yimo gave them. Yimo took the remaining 4 spirit marrow ponds. Then, Yimo asked, "I set up a level 7 formation here, how did you break it?" He realized how those people got through before. It was probably due to him taking away the extreme grade spirit range, and thus the formation didn't have a spirit source to power it. The spirit devouring bugs wouldn't be able to survive without the spirit Kai supporting it. From that perspective, he saved these people. But the defense formation he set up used spirit stones. Why was it broken too? Yi Jing heard this and shivered, but he still walked out and saluted with his fists. "Pill King Yi, it's my fault. I didn't know this was your defense formation, so I told them how to break it." "You know formations?" Yimo asked. Yi Jing nodded. "Yes, I'm Heaven Yang Sect's level 7 formation Grand Master." Yimo nodded. At this moment, a rumbling sounded as though something was going to collapse. Yimo thought this place was going to collapse and quickly said, "Everyone leave, this place is going to collapse." Everyone retreated and flew out of this place back on the surface. There was still rumbling but no signs of collapse. However, no one wanted to go back down again and all got on their flying magic artifacts, bidding Yimo farewell. When Yimo saw their magic artifacts, he was dazed. Extreme grade spirit artifacts could come in here? He was using an extreme grade cultivation artifact. But he immediately realized each one had a cold resistance bead and formation attached to it. That worked as well. Yimo saw the Clear Dream Mosque people didn't go, so he asked, "Martial Sister Ching Han, how did you guys know about this place?" Before Ching Han could reply, her martial sister said, "A few months ago, a few cultivators who came here found that there was very dense spirit Kai, so they sent out messenger flying swords before going down. My 2 martial sister and I were near the southern lands, so we came together after hearing the news." Yimo nodded, so that was it. His location was exposed again, it wasn't suitable to stay here. Just when he was about to leave, a red messenger flying sword fell into his hands. There were only a few who could send him messenger flying swords, but after reading the content, he said heavily, "Let's go back to Mo Yu City immediately." "What's going on?" Ning Qingxue asked. "Pill City Shen Guanqing City Lord is back, he sent me this. There is trouble at the Pill City, he's not at Pill City and is waiting for me at Mo Yu City." Yimo had a bad feeling. Pill City is in trouble. Who dares to touch it? Shu Tong didn't believe this. Ning Qingxue agreed to this and asked, "Husband, Yu Chichao and Shen Guanqing's status are very high, even the 9-star sects are very careful in the Pill City. Who would dare to touch them?" Ning Qingxue agreed to this and asked, "Husband, Yu Chichao and Shen Guanqing's status are very high, even the 9-star sects are very careful in the Pill City. Who would dare to touch them?" Yimo shook his head. "I'm not sure, but City Lord Shen Guanqing is a very honest person, he wouldn't trick me. His messenger flying sword didn't even mention Pill King Chichao, I suspect something might have happened to him." He knew that their statuses were very high in the Pill City, but they didn't really care about managing the city. What if someone used his conflict with 9-star sects to rally support from the 2 9-star sects and target the 2 city lords? Yimo didn't say this, but Luo Ying could tell what he was thinking. She looked at Yimo and asked, "You think there's internal conflict in Pill City? But I heard there's only a level 6 Pill King other than the 2 city lords who are level 7 Pill Kings. Even with an internal conflict, no one can replace them." "Let's go back first," Yimo said. With his extreme-grade cultivation artifact Blue Moon, he would be able to escape even from cauldron-filling state tertiary stage cultivators. He didn't believe anyone could steal power from them in the Pill City. He was confused why Shen Guanqing was in Mo Yu City. With his connections, if he needed help, he wouldn't go to Mo Yu City to find him. He was only a nascent soul state cultivator at the tournament. Yimo let Shu Tong control Blue Moon and took out Winter's arrival, putting it in front of Blue Moon while he concocted the season wheat pill. This was his second time concocting this, and with his power increasing so much, he made it in half an hour. After Lin Yiban ate a season wheat pill, his dantian was completely recovered in 2 hours. Lin Yiban even wanted to die the instant his dantian was destroyed. How could an useless man recover his ancestors' glory? Yet now, he felt how correct his decision to follow a pill king like Yimo was. As long as he didn't lose his essence spirit, Yimo could still probably save him. Shu Tong was tearing up. Yimo saving Lin Yiban was equivalent of saving her. Lin Yiban didn't say anything, but his mind was extremely surprised. Yimo was able to save him because he was a level 7 pill king, but he reached from hollow spirit state level 1 to body condensation state level 2 in half a year. This couldn't even be described as being prodigy. This was a miracle. Blue Moon got faster and faster. Soon, Yimo and them passed through the glacier ranges. On their way, they saw many flying magic artifacts flying inside the ice god forbidden grounds, but Blue Moon was too fast, so although those people wanted to ask Yimo and them about the forbidden grounds, they didn't have the opportunity. It had been a month or so since Yimo and them left the extreme south. After another 2 months, Yimo reached body condensation state level 3 and they were very close to Mo Yu City. Yimo stopped cultivation and took back Winter's arrival. Winter's arrival had now formed a white drill-shaped cocoon. Yimo put it back in the golden page world. It wasn't enough to help him yet, but he felt that one day, Winter's arrival's sudden evolution would give him a huge surprise. 2 days later, when Blue Moon was about to enter Mo Yu City, Yimo suddenly said to Shu Tong, "Sister Shu, stop for a moment." Yimo let them wait on Blue Moon while he flew out. Yimo didn't fly far. Luo Ying and them could even scan him with their spirit sense. They found that the place Yimo went had 3 cultivators fighting. However, their power wasn't worth mentioning. It was just 3 cauldron-filling state cultivators. 1 man and woman were attacking a scar-faced woman. This was the second time he saw this scar-faced woman. The first time was at Mang Mountain Town when Duan Itai took him into that spirit rest tower to discuss things. That woman seemed to be searching for news of him and seemed excited. He wanted to question her afterwards but wasn't able to find her. The woman was no match for them. She had more than 1 wound and tried to run a few times, but was stopped by the other 2. Yimo landed near them and the 3 quickly stopped fighting. They all saw that Yimo's power was much higher than theirs. "You're Pill King Yi." The scar-faced woman recognized him and called out in surprise and joy. Yimo nodded. "That's right, I am. You seem to know me." The other 2 heard the name Pill King Yi and their faces changed immediately. They wanted to leave. Who didn't know Yimo's name? "Pill King Yi, quickly kill these 2. They injured your student in order to rob our things, and chased me here," the woman said desperately. Yimo frowned. "My student?" The scar-faced woman quickly said, "Yes, it's Shatai. He came from the magical continent. He said you're his master. We were searching for your news at the Mang Mountain Town and heard you were at the Pill City. We were prepared to go to Pill City together, but then we heard you went back to Mo Yu City, so we spent a year to get back here. Now, Shatai is in the city." Yimo immediately remembered. Shatai's sister was Shijingqing, who was Luo Yin. Her body was still in his golden page world. He didn't expect her brother to be in South Peace State. Shatai's talent was very absurd, with a mutated wind spirit root. The primordial chaos chant he taught him only had up to foundation establishment state. He probably wasn't in golden core state yet. Yimo felt a little ashamed. He had wasted a wind spirit root. "What's his power now?" Yimo still asked. The scar-faced woman said sadly, "He's a pure wind spirit root but doesn't have the latter cultivation method, so he's stuck at foundation establishment state. Those sects are taking in disciples and I told him to check it out, but he said he has a master so he hasn't reached golden core state." Yimo nodded. "Come with me to Mo Yu City, we'll see Shatai first." "Those 2. The scar-faced woman started to mention those 2 foundation establishment state cultivators who ran away but saw Yimo wave his hands and shoot out 2 lightning arcs. Yimo wasn't interested in picking up their belongings. The scar-faced woman looked back a few times, clearly wanting the 2 storage bags, but she was embarrassed to say it in front of Yimo. Luo Ying and them saw Yimo bring back the scar-faced woman and were very surprised. Mo explained things to them and let the scar-faced woman explain herself. After her talk, everyone knew her name was Wen Shulei. In a Foundation Establishment State team a few years ago, she met Shatai and became very good friends. Although she didn't say it, Mo and them guessed that they were married. The two cultivators from before had chased Wen Shulei for a storage ring. She got all the way to Moyu City. Wen Shulei arranged Shatai to rest inside the city after he got injured while she went out to look for some spirit herbs and was caught by the two. Blue Moon soon went inside Moyu City, but when Mo found there were no cultivator guards and ordinary troops couldn't stop the cultivators going in and out, he frowned. Such a pretty place. Tang Beiwei and Ning Qingxue felt a sense of intimacy with the city. At least the city planning seemed similar to a modern city. There was lush green everywhere and it was very well organized. The streets were many times wider than Pill City. 11 people got off the flying magic artifact and yet no one came to inquire about them. This made Mo extremely unhappy. Even though there were no guards in Pill City, there were still people watching in the dark, but here there was no one. There were only a few guards chatting at the city gates. He left this place to Yi Wucai before he left, but now he didn't see Yi Wucai at all. Luckily, he soon saw Xu Changji and Shen Guanqing in the city lord estate. Shen Guanqing also saw Mo and immediately got up. But Mo walked in with Luo Ying and them first. TL note, Yu Chichao's Pill King title is Silver Moon Pill King. Shen Guanqing's Pill King title is Guantian Pill King. TL note, Yu Chichao's Pill King title is Silver Moon Pill King. Shen Guanqing's Pill King title is Guantian Pill King. Mo, you're back. Shen Guanqing saw Mo and the worry in his eyes lessened. Mo could feel Shen Guanqing's worry for him and felt a little warm. When he was ambushed by the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect, most people were keeping their distance with him except for a few friends. Shen Guanqing just asked this and looked at Mo in daze. You're already body condensation state level 2, how is that possible? Huh. Xu Changji was dumbfounded by Mo's power as well. When he first saw Mo was only nascent soul state like him. But now, Mo was body condensation state while he was only hollow spirit state level 4. Yes, Guan Tian Pil King Qian Bei, WN Bei had some fortunate encounters and thus my power rose up fast. But then Mo asked, Qian Bei, where is Silver Moon Pil King Qian Bei? Mo didn't want to talk much about his power and he was already concerned for Silver Moon Pil King. A sliver of sadness flashed across Shen Guanqing's eyes and he said, let's talk about this inside. Mo nodded and turned to Xu Changji, Martial brother, where is Yi Wucai? And how come there's no one at the city gates? Shen Guanqing said, Mo, don't worry, Moyu City doesn't seem to have guards on the surface but it's like Pill City now, there are 2 truth realization state cultivators guarding it. Yes, 2 truth realization state Qian Beis came with Guantian City Lord Qian Bei, no one would dare to wreak havoc here, Martial brother don't worry. Yi Wucai is in solitary cultivation trying to reach Foundation Establishment State, Xu Changji quickly said. Mo immediately felt assured. However, he didn't want Moyu City to be managed like Pill City. He wanted Moyu City to have its own laws, not a place that was tight on the inside and loose on the outside. There needed to be the same strict laws. Not anyone could come as they please. Ning Qingxue seemed to know what Mo was thinking and immediately said, Husband, I will help you later. I will set up a complete residence and law system just like Luo Yu City. Xu Changji looked at Ning Qingxue in confusion. He knew about Mo but didn't know Ning Qingxue. Clearly they were close, or she wouldn't say something like managing the Moyu City. Mo quickly introduced Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying and them. Then, he arranged Xu Changji and Ning Qingxue to settle the rest of the people before quickly leaving here with Shen Guanqing. Shen Guanqing brought Mo to the innermost secret room and after opening the restriction, Mo saw the pale-faced Yu Kuikao. He was shook and asked, what happened to Silver Moon Pill King? He was scared something happened to Yu Chichao and now he was indeed in trouble. Shen Guanqing closed the restriction and said to Mo, we were intentionally led out of the Pill City, attacking you was just a supplementary goal. Mo's heart sunk, the 2 city lords were drawn out of the Pill City indeed. These people's guts were boundlessly large, they dared to attack Silver Moonpill King. How could they be afraid of him then? Yi Mo scanned Silver Moonpill King with his spirit sense but didn't see anything amiss. He didn't ask and waited for Shun Guanqing to explain. A year ago, Silver Moonpill King said he had a sudden feeling and was prepared to break through to level 8 Pill King, but just before he went into solitary cultivation, he got news and that pill fountain appeared. Pill fountain? Yi Mo subconsciously interrupted, he had never heard of it. Shun Guanqing didn't mind and nodded, there were pill fountains in the ancient times, it's normal you haven't heard of it as it hasn't appeared for a long time. It's said that an immortal pill fell on Luo Yu continent and eventually formed a fountain. This fountain was the pill fountain. Its water can cure all diseases for mortals but can't be used for pill concoction or used by cultivators. But the pill fountain had a very important use for pill concoctors. It's said that in the ancient times, when a pill king wanted to progress, he needed to go sit at the pill fountain to find enlightenment. This is why there were large amounts of level 9 pill kings and even some pill kings that could concoct immortal pills. But eventually, the pill fountain appeared less and less. It's been more than 1,000 years since its last appearance. Yi Mo realized and asked, Qian Bei and Silver Moonpill King knew of this and went there. Shun Guanqing nodded, yes, when we heard of this news we were very excited and went together. Yi Mo knew the pill fountain must be fake, but he just wanted to know who told the two city lords about this. You must think the pill fountain is fake. Shun Guanqing seemed to know what Yi Mo was thinking. Yi Mo nodded. Yes, I think there's someone who intentionally drew the two city lords out. But Shun Guanqing shook his head, the pill fountain is real, it really did appear. Those people who notified us didn't trick us. Shun Guanqing sighed and didn't continue speaking, he turned to Yi Mo and asked, do you know what level the highest level pill king in South Peace State is right now? Yi Mo didn't know why Shun Guanqing suddenly asked this but still replied, I don't know for sure but I heard there's a level 8 and level 9 pill king in Pill City. They don't care about matters and only seek the pill Dao or the immortal Dao. Shun Guanqing heard this and sneered, do you believe this? Yi Mo was dazed, seeking the immortal Dao, of course he believes this. Aren't all cultivators seeking the immortal Dao? Shun Guanqing saw this and said coldly, seeking the immortal and pill Dao is real, but do you really believe they don't care about matters? Shun Guanqing said again, there's no hidden level 8 and level 9 pill king in the pill city, but there's indeed another hidden pill king. He's only a level 7 pill king and he never cared about other matters, at least on the surface. But every year, he takes more than 70% of the pill city's level 8 and level 9 spirit herbs. There are this many pill kings and truth realization state cultivators in the pill city as well as the spirit herbs from other places in South Peace State. How many level 8 and level 9 spirit herbs would that be? How could someone who doesn't care about matters take away so many spirit herbs? Shun Guanqing suddenly got up and clenched his fists. This much of Pill City's resources each year is concentrated on him because we respect him too as a Qian Bei and we never said anything. We even help him collect high-level spirit herbs, but we didn't expect him to attack Silver Moonpill King. Yi Mo felt this was complicated but he remembered Kong Yi telling him that the strongest pill king in South Peace State was only a level 7 pill king. It really was so. Shun Guanqing calmed down and said defeatedly, the most powerful person in the Pill City isn't the City Lord nor the Vice City Lord, but the Grand City Lord. There's a hard rule in the Pill City, whoever has the strongest Pill Dao power is the Grand City Lord. There's no reason. That person reached level 7 Pill King earlier than me and Silver Moon Pill King so his Grand City Lord. Only when someone surpasses level 7 Pill King would the Grand City Lord be lowered to Grand Paid Guest. Yi Mo realized something. It was clearly that Grand City Lord who harmed Silver Moon Pill King. He was scared that Silver Moon Pill King would reach level 8 Pill King and thus he would have to give his Grand City Lord title away. Perhaps he doesn't care much about this position, but then he wouldn't be getting 70% of all Pill City resources. Without that, how could he reach a higher Pill King level? How could he seek the immortal Dao? This means it also seemed normal that he was purged. That Grand City Lord was afraid he would surpass him too. Silver Moon Pill King and Tianguan Pill King were honest and respectable characters, so even if he reached level 8 Pill King, they wouldn't think much and would only be happy for him. Silver Moon Pill King Qianbei is already truth realization state power. Even if that Grand City Lord wants to attack him, how would he be able to ambush him? Yimo asked. Shun Guanqing said, it's because of the pill fountain. It's real, but it was found earlier and trapped. When Martial Brother Yu was finding enlightenment there, he was ambushed because someone put a spirit-corroding flower there. Shun Guanqing said, it's because of the pill fountain. It's real, but it was found earlier and trapped. When Martial Brother Yu was finding enlightenment there, he was ambushed because someone put a spirit-corroding flower there. Level 9 Spirit Herb Spirit-corroding flower? The legendary flower that can only have one in every 10 million kilometers? Yimo asked in shock. Yimo knew it all too well, a level 9 spirit herb, colorless and odorless. Its greatest use was to corrode essence spirit. This corrosion was subtle. If a cultivator sat in a place in meditation trying to gain enlightenment, it would be even easier. Thinking about this, Yimo suddenly got up. Silver Moon Pill King. Shun Guanqing nodded. You thought right. Martial Brother Yu is indeed poisoned with the spirit-corroding flower and his essence spirit is being rapidly corroded. Qianbei came to Moyu City to see if there's any way to treat it. Yimo finally understood why Shun Guanqing came to Moyu City and not somewhere else. Shun Guanqing sighed. Yes and no. Martial Brother Yu reached level 8 Pill King at the pill fountain, but he realized he was poisoned with the spirit-corroding flower. He didn't think it was someone from Pill City at first, so we took him back to Pill City quickly. There, we realized something happened to you. Martial Brother Yu was furious, and when Lightning Cloud sect got news of this, they immediately announced to seal their sect, but Martial Brother Yu asked Infinity Sect to hand out the cultivator who killed Brother G. However, Infinity Sect was adamant and denied it. There were nearly 20 truth realization state cultivators in Pill City and more disaster transformation state cultivators. We didn't expect the Infinity Sect to be this tough. Yimo didn't say anything, but he was very grateful. Silver Moon Pill King was poisoned but still thought of getting revenge for him. Seeing Yimo's expression, Shun Guanqing knew what Yimo was thinking and said, you don't need to feel guilty. Martial Brother Yu has great hopes for you. He believes you're the only one with hope of reaching level 9 Pill King. He could tolerate people assassinating him, but you're the hope of the cultivation realm. He doesn't want something to happen to you. He wanted to annihilate Infinity Sect before the spirit corrosion flower ruined him. Yimo knew that in the cultivation realm, if a sect sealed itself off, one wasn't usually allowed to attack it if there wasn't an extreme extent of conflict. Lightning Cloud sect sealed the sect, so they only spoke of Infinity Sect, but that was for them. If it was him, when his power reached a certain state, even if Lightning Cloud sect ran out of South Peace State, he would chase them and annihilate them. Shun Guanqing continued, but at this moment, Grand City Lord said that we, Pill City, can't oppress people with power. And that no one showed their faces when they stopped Lu Qianbei and you. How can we be sure it was Infinity Sect? We immediately knew that it was the Grand City Lord who ambushed us. Speaking of this, Shun Guanqing's tone was sad. Martial Brother Yu and I were very respectful of Grand City Lord and gave him 70% of the resources of our own accord. We never objected to anything he said, yet he treats us like this. Martial Brother Yu was extremely disappointed and the spirit-corroding flower came into effect. I no longer wanted to stay in the Pill City, so I brought Martial Brother Yu here. I wanted to come back and protect you, but after seeing this place I liked it, so I decided to stay here. That Grand City Lord? Yimo asked worriedly. Shun Guanqing waved his hand. Don't worry about that, he doesn't intend to attack this place, otherwise, he wouldn't be ambushing Martial Brother Yu. Plus, he doesn't need to do that. After we left, only he can make decisions there. He reached his goal and Martial Brother Yu won't be able to live, so he doesn't need to worry. After we left, some truth realization state cultivators who knew about the situation also left. 3 came with me to Moyu City, and 7 or 8 left elsewhere. Although Pill City is still the #1 powerful place, it isn't the same Pill City as before. Shun Guanqing sighed. Pill City's glorious past was gone. A jealous Pill King City Lord wouldn't be able to bring prosperity to Pill City no matter what. From now on, Pill City would only slowly weaken. Yimo calmed down a little. With Guan Tian Pill King and 3 truth realization state cultivators here, no matter how tough the Infinity Sect was, they wouldn't dare to come here for trouble. After the Lightning Cloud Sect announced they were sealing the sect, they wouldn't come here as well. This meant that Mo Yu City was very safe. After he set up the defense formation, even if Infinity Sect came, they wouldn't be able to return. Even though Guan Tian Pill King and Silver Moon Pill King left Pill City, there was no way they would help Infinity Sect attack here. Suddenly, Yimo thought of something and asked, Qian Bei, who is the person who told you about the appearance of Pill Fountain? You've seen that person and you've asked about him. His level 4 Pill King Zhao Shuntian, he probably serves the Grand City Lord and that's why he betrayed us, Shen Guanqing said sadly. It was indeed him. That Mo Yushan had quite the background and could even connect with the Grand City Lord. At this moment, Yimo realized how noble and respectable Silver Moon Pill King was. Even though he knew who ambushed him, he just left Pill City without saying anything. If it was someone else, he would fight with the Grand City Lord. With Silver Moon Pill King and Guan Tian's respect, it would be the entire South Peace State Cultivation Realm's disaster if the Pill City had an internal war. Tens of truth realization state cultivators and more disaster transformation states would split into 2 factions and fight. If there were 10 level 9 spirit herbs found in the South Peace State each year, then at least 8 would flow to Pill City. Level 9 spirit herbs were like a cultivator's guarantee for immortal ascension. Yet Silver Moon Pill King and Guan Tian Pill King gave this Pill City away, which meant giving up the spirit herbs' resources, reducing their chances of immortal ascension. They did all this to stop internal conflict. A cultivator could do all this. How was it not worthy of respect? He should think of all ways to save Silver Moon Pill King. Spirit corroding flower, it was almost incurable. Yimo frowned and after a long while, he sighed. Guan Tian Pill King Qian Bei, is there a cure for the spirit corroding flower? Shen Guanqing shook his head. Spirit corroding flower corrodes the essence spirit. The longer it's been in effect, the more incurable it is. After a year, even if an immortal comes, he wouldn't be able to do anything. But within the first year, there are 2 spirit herbs that can cure it. But both are extremely rare. One is level 9 spirit herb Immortal Curl Flower. It can rebuild a cultivator's essence spirit before it dissipated, but I've never seen it. Another is level 9 spirit herb Ice Carrot that can stop the corrosion, but I've also never seen it. Ice Carrot. Yimo suddenly got up. He had one. It was something to concoct Truth Carrot Pill. Why didn't he think of it? Shen Guanqing seemed surprised and Yimo took out the Ice Carrot before Shen Guanqing said anything. Guan Tian Pill King, this is Ice Carrot. You have Ice Carrot. Shen Guanqing grabbed the jade box and was shook. Yimo nodded. I got it when I went to Ice God Forbidden Grounds this time. You can use it to help Silver Moon Pill King Qian Bei first. Shen Guanqing opened the box. It was indeed a mature level 9 spirit herb Ice Carrot. At this moment, Shen Guanqing seemed to feel his body was full of vitality again. It could be said that he and Silver Moon Pill King used all their efforts of the Pill City, and yet Silver Moon Pill King fell to this predicament. There was no way he wasn't disappointed and sad. But now that they had the Ice Carrot, it meant that Silver Moon Pill King could recover. Brother Yimo, thank you, don't call us Qian Bei anymore, just call me and Silver Moon Brother. We didn't see you wrong, you're a real person indeed, Shen Guanqing said shakily. Yimo knew what Shen Guanqing meant. Ice Carrot was an extreme treasure that almost never appeared. It could increase chances of disaster transformation states reaching truth realization state. He waved his hand. Guan Tian Pill King Qian Bei, you and Silver Moon Pill King will always be my Qian Beis. Let's go treat Silver Moon Pill King first, the earlier the better. In Yimo's heart, both the Pill Kings were extremely nice to him. Even if he had to take out his extreme grade spirit range, he wouldn't hesitate at all. Shen Guanqing put the Ice Carrot in Yu Chichao's mouth and used his cultivation essence to help Yu Chichao digest it. In 7 minutes, Silver Moon Pill King's face started to turn red and he opened his eyes. Shen Guanqing took his hand away and said desperately, Martial Brother Yu, Hurry up and use your cultivation essence to digest the ice carrot. Yu Qichao's eyes were wide with disbelief, but he soon realized what was going on and closed his eyes again. This time, he didn't need Shen Guanqing's help and digested the ice carrot himself. Soon, the ice carrot shrunk and disappeared. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.